This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Monday, March 31, 2025. Police sergeant dies while attempting to prune a tree at his home in St. Catherine. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says deeds, not words, are what will push Jamaica in the direction of prosperity. Director of Elections says scores of persons capitalized on the recent deadline to have their names included on the voters list. In regional news, a man arrested in Trinidad and Tobago for assaulting girl with cerebral palsy. In international news, France's controversial far-right leader is convicted of embezzlement. In sports, Mount Pleasant dropped points at home to Tivoli in the Wren Nephew JPL. And in business, global stock markets fall in early trading. The details after the break.
Revamp your space with Unique Living sleek fixed and sliding shower panels, shower systems and faucets, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, basins and kitchen sinks, closet and storage solutions, hanging aids, and more. Available in different finishes and sizes to match your style. Transform your space and visit us today at shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call us at 876-755-3661 or visit our website at uniquelivingja.com to shop.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The policeman electrocuted at his home in Eltham Acres, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Sunday has been identified as Sergeant William Wallace. Sergeant Wallace was reportedly attached to the Protective Services Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. It's understood that parts of an almond tree in the policeman's yard were brushing high-tension wires belonging to the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS. The policeman was reportedly cutting off the affected branches when tragedy struck. The development of Jamaica cannot be made on empty promises. That's the word from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Dr. Holness was reacting to a recent comment from opposition leader Mark Golding that the PNP's budget proposals were not meant to be implemented in the upcoming fiscal year. Golding made the comment after Finance Minister Fayval Williams chided the PNP's budget proposals for its absence of numbers to indicate how much implementation would cost taxpayers. The PNP held a press conference last Thursday where it revealed that the proposals would cost approximately $23 billion. But while addressing last Saturday's banquet of the Manchester Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Holness said the days of Jamaica's economy being compromised by short-term gratification are over. And we apologize for not having the inserts for this story. We'll try to get those inserts in for the 7 o'clock newscast. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Holness has commended the police for their recent successes in seizing illegal guns and ammunition. Also having a bit of challenge with the audio clips for this story as well. Moving on, Government Senator Abka Fitz-Henley is challenging the claim by PNP President Mark Golding that he was not involved in the FinSec saga. Golding made the comment at a PNP media conference last week. Shalois Michael reports. We're going to take a short break from the 6 o'clock newscast so that we can fix our audio inserts and return.
Is tough. You spend weeks, maybe months searching but still can't find the right fit. And even when you do, onboarding, payroll, and benefits become another headache. Stop wasting time. Let TalentBox Caribbean do the work at a fraction of the cost. From sourcing to interviewing, we do it all. Don't settle for the wrong hire. Schedule your strategy call today. Call 876-960-0066 or visit www.talentboxcaribbean.com. TalentBox Caribbean, connection made easy.
Sunshine has the best for you. Nature's best buns so crunchy. The flavor that sings to you. Salted banana and plantain. Taste the freshness, naturally sweet. The flavor that sings to you.
Ayo, nature's best bunch.
Upgrade your home or business with Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Explore a range of termite-resistant plywood, quartz, solid surface, and granite. Experience timeless elegance with our cedar doors, crafted from premium cedar stock, kiln-dried for durability and beauty. For quality and craftsmanship, visit us at the Trade Center Kingston 10 or Hatfield, Mandeville. Call 876-963-062 8-30. Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Transform your space today.
Returning to the 6 o'clock newscast, starting with our previous stories that had the absence of soundbites. So the development of Jamaica cannot be made on empty promises. That's the word from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Dr. Holness was reacting to a recent comment from opposition leader Mark Golding that the PNP's budget proposals were not meant to be implemented in the upcoming fiscal year.
In our last budget, several proposals were made, and the Minister of Finance costed it and showed that those promises didn't make sense, couldn't be financed, would wreck the budget. The development of this country cannot be made on empty promises. Can't come to Parliament and make promises, and then when tackled, you get up and say, it was not my intention that these would be implemented. In effect, empty promise.
Golding made the comment after Finance Minister Favour Williams chided the PNP's budget proposals for its absence of numbers to indicate how much implementation would cost taxpayers. The PNP held a press conference last Thursday where it revealed that the proposals would cost approximately $23 billion. But while addressing last Saturday's banquet of the Manchester Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Holness said that the days of Jamaica's economy being compromised by short-term gratification are over.
Our electorate has never really asked our politicians to price or cost the promises that they make. Because we want the satisfaction now, we accept anything that is told to us. For too long, our electorate has been misled, and our political economy has focused on the wrong things. For the first time, you have a government that has delivered 10 budgets of stability. We have presented budgets to you without ever running with anything. That is a significant transformation in Jamaica. But more than that, we are presenting a budget in an election year, and it is a balanced budget.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Holness has commended the police for their recent successes in seizing illegal guns and ammunition.
In the last 4 weeks, we have had several major seizures of weapons and other contraband coming into our formal ports. All the people who are importing guns into Jamaica, whether you live here or cooperate with criminals abroad, you have no hiding place. Jamaica has invested heavily in improving the sophistication of our security apparatus. And that sophistication is not only in the purchase of equipment, in the training of our officers, but also in building strong diplomatic country-to-country relationships that will help us to undermine the criminal networks that exist across borders.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Nearly 1,700 pounds of cocaine have been seized during police operations since the start of the year. The latest drug bust was at a seaport in Kingston on Wednesday. According to the police, more than 1,000 pounds of cocaine were seized during a joint operation conducted by the Jamaica Customs Agency and the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division. The cocaine was disguised as Cuban honey. The estimated street value of the cocaine is $3.1 billion. It follows a recent gun find at a warehouse on Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston earlier in March. According to the police, 30 firearms and more than 100 rounds of ammunition were seized. The cache includes 24 pistols, 6 rifles, 32 magazines, and 102 rounds of ammunition. The government Senator Abka Fitzhenley is challenging the claim by PNP President Mark Golding that he was not involved in the FinSec saga. Golding made the comment at a PNP media conference last week. Shlois Michael reports.
The FinSec era refers to the near collapse of Jamaica's financial system in the 1990s. During his recent contribution to the budget debate, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness hinted that members of the opposition benefited from favorable deals linked to FinSec through investment bank Daring Bunting and Golding DBNG. Golding was a partner in DBNG. But according to the opposition leader, he had no role in FinSec whatsoever. Mr. Golding says he was an ordinary businessman who at the time had to navigate a difficult situation like any other. But Senator Fitzhenley says this is not true.
He said he came into the PNP via Dr. Omar Davies, where he gave advice regarding the financial sector. Of course, Dr. Davies was the finance minister in the 1990s, during the meltdown of the financial sector. I put it to you, sir, that it is highly improbable that the opposition leader was not consulted on those issues of the day. And therefore, I submit to the Parliament of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica that when the opposition leader says he had nothing to do with the FinSec, no part to play, he should not be believed. In fact, the public record suggests he did not speak the truth.
Senator Fitzhenley says the public record shows that payments were made to DBNG during the FinSec era.
Deals were entered into which the anti-corruption agency of the day described as irregular and highly improper. And arising from those deals, public funds, millions of US dollars, millions of Jamaican taxpayer money were shelled out and used to line the pockets of a company owned by Peter Bunting and Mark Golding, two men who now aspire to lead Jamaica. The Gleaner says these developments occurred after a hectic year for DBNG, which saw Peter Bunting and attorney Mark Golding playing a prominent part in the company's operation.
Senator Fitzhenley continued.
In one such payment, PNP administration via the Finance Ministry had an obligation to pay Daring, Bunting and Golding over $29.5 million. FinSAC paid approximately $10 million to Bunting and Golding's company, and the Debt Management Department of the Ministry of Finance paid the balance of $20 million. In another instance, the Financial Gleaner of December 5, 1997 tells us that Bunting and Golding's entity abandoned plans for a merger and took full control of Billy Craig Merchant Bank, which is badly affected by the PNP policies of the 1990s. And guess what happened after Senator Siva Wright? FinSAC, which was set up by Golding's political allies, pumped $85 million of taxpayers' monies into the bank, which was taken over by Bunting and Golding's company.
Senator Fitzhenley says the evidence proves that Golding is not fit to lead the nation.
What I just alluded to are two pieces of evidence which confirm that the opposition leader's claim that he had nothing to do with the FinSAC is false. Indeed, he misled the people of Jamaica. His latest comment is confirmation that he cannot be trusted to be honest with the Jamaican people.
Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
Southeast St. Catherine MP Robert Miller is seeking to assure residents of Portmore that the municipality will be transformed into the country's 15th parish. He made the comment at a JLP Area Council meeting in Mountain View, St. Andrew on Sunday.
They went for an injunction. You know what an injunction is? Them go a court to stop something or for refrain from us doing something. And the order came last Friday that the injunction was lifted. When it's lifted, what that mean? The lawyers can tell you. That mean we can go ahead. It was not unconstitutional. However, we have some things that we need to do and we are going to do it. Because the people of Portmore deserve their parish and the people of Portmore will get their parish.
The comment follows a court ruling last Friday, lifting an injunction which had blocked the government from proceeding with the push to make Portmore a parish. The PNP had filed a lawsuit earlier this month to block Portmore from being declared a parish. Both the JLP and the PNP have welcomed the ruling, with each side claiming vindication in the court's decision. Opposition spokesman with responsibility for matters concerning Portmore, Fitzjackson, says that the Supreme Court's order affirms the PNP's stance that the JLP's efforts were a blatant breach of the constitutional process. But according to Miller, the PNP's claim to victory is chaotic.
What the opposition seek to do is to create panic and mayhem. I say the one when named Fitzjackson out there, I create pure panic, him just talk. And if you can realize, when they impose the tolls on the backs of Portmore people, them have to pay if you come to Kingston and pay if you go back home. Them never dare talk, them never dare consult. All them do are wreck the lives of Portmore people. I am saying to them and the people, you sleep, mark death.
Robert Miller, MP for Southeast St. Catherine. Opposition spokesman on housing and sustainable living, Senator Floyd Morris, is maintaining that the Holness administration has not done enough to provide housing solutions for the average Jamaican. He was speaking at a PNP meeting in Northeast St. Andrew on Sunday.
There is a serious problem in Jamaica with housing. The average Jamaican for the past 9 years have not been able to purchase an affordable home. And what the Holness-led government has been doing for the past 9 years is to focus on the higher end of the income market.
During his recent budget presentation, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness announced several initiatives to help empower Jamaicans to purchase a home. These include increasing the loan limit for a single contributor at the National Housing Trust to $9 million and lowering the deposit requirements for low-income earners from 5% to 2%. The opposition leader, Mark Golding, also presented a plan for housing. Among them is a $1 billion loan facility for young first-time buyers. Senator Morris says Mark Golding has the better plan.
I listened to the budget debate and I listened to what the Prime Minister had to say about housing. And when we listened to what he had to say in comparison to what our leader had to say about housing in Jamaica, it is like chalk to cheese. We are going to make sure that when we build the houses, 50,000 houses over the next 5 years, we are going to make sure that the land portion for the housing costs is not included in the final payment for NHD contributors. That is going to see a significant reduction in the cost of housing in Jamaica. Between $2.5 to $3 million at minimum will be reduced off the price of housing. That is transformation at its best.
Senator Floyd Morris, opposition spokesperson on housing and sustainable living. Director of Elections Glasgow Brown says Jamaicans capitalized on the opportunity last Saturday to register to vote in the upcoming general election.
Well, the day went fairly well yesterday. A number of persons took advantage of the Saturday opening. When the number of persons came and seek to be registered, a number came in terms of transferring from one constituency to another. And there were another set that came to collect their renewed ID card. So overall, I think the day went fairly well.
The Electoral Office of Jamaica opened its offices on the weekend to facilitate persons who wanted to register to vote in the next general election, which is slated to be held by September of this year. Brown says today, Monday, March 31, is the last day for persons to register to be on the next voters list, which will be published by the end of May.
Well, the data should be available by tomorrow in terms of what the number of persons who took advantage of yesterday. The registration in this phase 51, will be completed or ends tomorrow, the 31st of March, after which we then go through the verification process and do the final check for the preparation of the list that will be released on the 31st of May.
Glasgow Brown, Director of Elections. Meanwhile, Mr. Brown says that the EOJ is now in the process of training Election Day workers.
The recruitment process is going okay so far. We are now in the process of training our Election Day workers, and that is going fairly well. We have a timeline that we anticipate that we complete our training. So even though we have recruited so far, we just continue to encourage persons to ensure that they undertake the necessary training for them to be certified or approved as to work for us on Election Day.
Glasgow Brown, Director of Elections. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Digicel, live life your way, no free what? Digicel postpaid. With Digicel postpaid, it's all about you. Sign up or pay your bills to stay active for a chance to win a luxurious all-expense paid trip for two to Royalton, Antigua. With round-trip flights on us, every week you could win exciting prizes. Event tickets, gym memberships, spa packages, excursion adventures, restaurant vouchers, and more. When you opt in on the My Digicel app, life your way starts now with Digicel. Better connected.
Promotion ends March 31. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news in Trinidad and Tobago, a 51-year-old man from Pinal has been arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting a girl with cerebral palsy at her home on March 29. The Newsday is reporting that the girl's father left home around 9 p.m. to purchase food about 200 meters away from the home. When the man returned 10 minutes later, he found his nephew there. The nephew said he went to the house around 9:05 p.m. and saw a man whom he knows forcing the girl to commit a sexual act. The nephew allegedly confronted the intruder. The father called the police, who responded swiftly and arrested the suspect. In international news, in France, leader of the far-right National Rally, Marine Le Pen, has been found guilty of embezzling European funds to finance the organization. Le Pen has been sentenced to 5 years of ineligibility with immediate effect, effectively ruling her out of the 2027 presidential race. The judges also gave Le Pen a 4-year prison sentence, 2 of which have been suspended. She has also been fined 100,000 euros. She is almost certain to appeal, and the prison penalty and fine would not be applied until her appeals are exhausted. The BBC is reporting that Le Pen walked out of the room before the judge finished handing down the sentencing details. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Yo, my boss. Yo, my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some stackerific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, stackify yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
For generations, Jamaican families have trusted Imperial Optical to keep their vision clear and their style sharp. From their first eye exam to the latest in fashion frames, we've been there for every milestone, every moment, and every memory. Whether it's your child's first day at school or your grandparents' golden years, our care spans every age, every stage. Visit Imperial Optical today. Generations of care, generations of trust.
Time now for your morning sports. Leaders Mount Pleasant dropped points at home for only the second time this season after they were held to a goalless draw by Tivoli Gardens in the Red Nephew Jamaica Premier League at Drax Hall on Sunday. The draw moved the Theodore Whitmore coached unit to 69 points, confirming their passage to the next phase of the competition. Tivoli, in the meantime, remain in the crucial sixth playoff spot, having moved to 46 points. Racing United are right on their heels following a 2-0 win over bottom club Vere United. Nickel Ellis and Tyrone Mullings got the goals as Racing moved to 44 points. Mobay United missed a chance to go second as they were held 0-0 by Portmore United. In other games, Harbourview needed an own goal to beat Dumbehold in 1-0, while Malines United and Humberline ended 1-1. There will be huge celebrations at Ferry Pen and 2A North Street this morning. At Hydel and Kingston College gather at Devotion to mark their successes at the ISA Boys and Girls Championships at the National Stadium on Saturday. Hydel won their second title, finishing 11 points clear of dethroned champions Edwin Allen and Homewood, and then St. Jago and Immaculate. Kingston College is in their centenary year, extended their record number of boys' titles to 36 after leading from start to finish. Calabar finished second, Jamaica College third, fourth was St. Jago, while Excelsior took fifth. Cricket West Indies has reaffirmed its dedication to promoting diversity and inclusive leadership with the reappointment of 3 distinguished women to its board of directors. The 3 are Jamaica's Diane Campbell, Deborah Coriat Patton of Trinidad and Tobago, and Louise Victor Friedrich of St. Lucia. This marks the second term in which Cricket West Indies will have 3 women serve on the board of directors. And that's it for your morning sports.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah, Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
In business this morning, the BBC is reporting that stock markets in Europe have fallen in early trading, following on from steep falls in some Asian markets overnight, ahead of Trump's tariffs coming into effect this week. Japan's Nikkei index closed down more than 4%, while in London, the FTSE 100 lost around 1% in early trading. It comes after Trump suggested that new tariffs he is set to announce this week will hit all countries, not just those that have the biggest trade imbalances with the U.S. The U.S. president made the comments as he prepares to unveil a massive slate of import taxes on Wednesday in what he has called America's Liberation Day. The measures will come on top of tariffs already imposed by Washington on aluminum, steel, and vehicles, along with increased levies on all goods from China. Billionaire Elon Musk has given away $1 million checks to voters in Wisconsin after the state Supreme Court refused to intervene. Musk announced the prize earlier this week ahead of Wisconsin's tightly contested Supreme Court election to be held on Tuesday. Wisconsin Attorney General and Democrat Josh Kaul had sued to stop the giveaway, arguing that Musk was violating a state law that bans gifts in exchange for votes. The race, which could flip control of the state Supreme Court to the Republicans, has become a flashpoint and the most expensive judicial election in American history. Speaking at a rally Sunday night, Musk said, quote, "We just want judges to be judges," end quote, before handing out two $1 million checks to voters who had signed a petition to stop activist judges. Kaul had tried to argue the giveaways was an illegal attempt to buy votes. And in foreign exchange trading now, the Jamaican dollar will open trading today, selling for an average $158.44 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar will open trading this morning, selling for an average $113.07 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will open trading this morning, selling for an average $206.39 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:30.
Win with love. Use your JMMB Money Transfer Prepaid Visa Card from October 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025 for a chance to win your share of a $2.1 million grand prize, plus a $100,000 university cash grant and cash back from paying tolls and shopping with your card. Receive money 24/7 in minute with Visa Direct via MoneyGram, Zoom, Remitly, or directly through RIA and Zoom. Visit jm.jmmb.com/money-transfer for full details on how to enter and win with love. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
Hey there,
Junior commuters, big news! Your JUTC Smart Fare cards are here! It's time to swap out those old Smarter cards and step into the future of easy, efficient travel. We know transitions take time, but let's get started. Here's how. Grab your Smarter card and your ID. Bring it to any JUTC ticket office. We will then switch you to a Smart Fare card. Top up and voila! Your brand new Smart Fare card is ready to roll. No stress, your balance moves with you to your sleek, upgraded Smart Fare card. So, out with the old, in with the new. Right with Smart Fare.
Face. Good morning, Mr. Obstacles. How you doing today? If I am living, I have to live it up. No matter the feeling, I got to get up. If I am living, I have to live it up. No matter the feeling, I got to get up. And that's a spirit. Yeah. And you can do it. That's the spirit. When you fall on the ground, get up, pick up your sin. You can do it. Brush off your clothes and prepare for something else. And that's the spirit. No time for those. Get up, wake up and move. Put on your champion shoes. I tell the man in the mirror, you are a winner. Yeah, you can do it. You are a champion. Oh, you can get through it.
Good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, thank you so much for coming on over and joining us for a brand new work week. Happy Monday to you. It is Monday, March 31, 2025. I'm Tawna Thomas.
Good morning, Tawna. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, everyone. My name is George.
Hey to you, George.
How you do?
Had a good weekend?
Yeah, man. Weekend good, man.
Great.
Weekend good.
Yeah.
I went to St. Anne yesterday for a Premier League game, the same one you read about in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Pleasant and Tivoli. It finished 0-0, so there were no goals, of course, but
yes,
it wasn't a bad game. But lad, it hot like fire.
You're right.
Yeah, man. Yesterday warm.
Yesterday was warm. Yeah. I'm just here to announce that I won.
Won what?
Some domino games.
Dortmund!
On Friday night.
Among the Nationwide people.
Yeah.
At Cara's sister's setup.
Yeah. And I was just matching, okay?
What were you beat up? Tell me.
Shaloy.
Jesus.
Roby.
Jesus.
And some of the local guys that were around who, came to the table and played. But then Roby came back around and gave us what do you call it? 6 love?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was pretty good.
And
she was matching as well. But the one who knew how to read the game best was Shaloy.
Yes.
Who I think also got 6 at one point.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Me and her today when she come.
Good times.
Good times. Listeners, it's Good Monday. Another Monday closer to what the government side at least is calling Decision Day. What the opposition side will tell you is the day when time come to make the change. And this morning I want to talk about something a little bit different from the usual fare. I don't think that as commentators we spend enough time talking about this issue. Well, not this station, because we talk about the issues, but just broadly speaking. And again, it has to do with this issue of red tape. I put it that way because bureaucracy is necessary, because bureaucracy is a natural function of the order of things. You have to have layers for things to pass through. You have to have a continuum for things to go along before a decision is made. You have to have a process through which a thing runs before it comes to a climax, it comes to a conclusion. So a bureaucracy is necessary in everything that has order and structure and that is supposed to deliver results, especially when we're talking about money involved, and especially taxpayers' money. Again, I tell you, there is no such thing as government money. No government in the world except the autocratic ones own a dollar. It's all taxpayers' money that the government spends on your behalf, which is why sometimes when I hear, a government in office say, boy, I give you this and I give you that. Virgin, you don't give me nothing because of my money. Understand? So there you go. But we take the point. So red tape gives you a different perspective on the bureaucracy issue. If I say bureaucracy, the bureaucracy, this, that. The bureaucracy can be good. The bureaucracy can be so good, so streamlined that it makes processes efficient. It makes delivery of service. It optimizes the excellent delivery of services. So when a bureaucracy works well, and you have some bureaucracies that work well, it's all about efficiency and speed and people being satisfied and looking forward to interacting with the process. When I say red tape, though, it's a totally different perspective that you'll take on the same process, because red tape suggests that you're tied up, you are experiencing bottlenecks and frustration. I want to use a simple example of how I experienced red tape the first time in my life. I had just taken a job at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. Let me rephrase that about taking a job. I had applied for and gotten a job. Yeah. After several months, I had even forgotten about it, and called, and I went and I did the interview, and I got that was in. I started NEPA on March 3, 2008, and I stayed there for 2 years. I left after the 2010 World Cup to come back home. Yeah. And at NEPA, I experienced red tape for the first time in my life. Here's how it went, and that's when I understood fully how a bureaucracy can be stultifying, can frustrate efficiency, can sap the energy of those who have to interact with the process, and how it serves nobody any useful purpose for bureaucracy to be red tape. There was an incident concerning a truck driver with sewage in a truck, a motor truck, who was caught somewhere in Clarendon emptying that sewage into the river. Caught by the police, arrested, prosecuted. The matter came to the office, and we were told that we needed to, of course, inform the public that this has happened. Of course, my newsman's instinct said, well, what is the gentleman's name, age, any other information, so publish it. Of course, they said, no, don't publish his name. I was a lonely voice, and I was new at the time, and whenever one of the people them things, boy, I was, too strident. So say, let me take my time, I ease myself in. So I yielded on the point of naming the person. But anyway, I was given instructions by my manager, lovely lady, Natalie Ferron at the time. She said, George, just draft a statement and let's get it done. So I ran to the office, and I'm a newsman, so within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it was done. Simple statement to say this had happened, man caught dumping sewage into the river, blah, 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 prosecuted. Simple, straightforward, simply. It was about maybe five sentences. Yeah, 5 sentences. Could be more than that. In my head, I thought that, okay, so this thing is drafted. I'd bring it to the manager. She'd say, all right, all right, yeah, man, George, we're good. Get this out to your media contacts now. That was what, in my head, would happen to this simple press release. That's not what happened to that simple press release.
The process was that this simple press release of 5 sentences would have to go to the manager for initial approval. Then it would have to go to the Director of Legal Services for further approval. Then it would have to leave the Director of Legal Services and go to the Ecosystems branch, the branch that deals with pollution. Go to the branch, not ecosystem, go to the branch that deals with pollution and so forth, and go there. Then bring it to the attention of the person in Ecosystems, so forth, to have a look over it. Then to the CEO, who would give the final sign-off. Then we could send it. How many people that? Manager of Corporate Communications, Director of Legal, Pollution Monitoring, Ecosystems, CEO. 5 people in 5 different offices needed to sign off on a press release of 5 sentences with nobody's name in the press release. It's just to say that a man was arrested for dumping sewage into a river in Clarendon. I was fuming. So when she told me that, boy, George, I understand, I know I can see it in your face, you're frustrated, but this is how government works. This is how the process is. So I said, so hold on. So you're telling me that we're to just send it over there, email. She said you just email it, and when whoever approves it, go first, one step by step, and as they approve, you then bring it to the attention of the other person. And so I said, so how long is this going to take? She said, well, I don't know how their entries are, and I don't know how quickly. So I said, you know what? All right. I printed another copy of the draft. And I said, you know what? I'm going to walk it to each person's office because this thing needs to go out today. So first up, I walked to the Director of Legal Affairs' office, my good friend now. Well, then and now. And this was the first time I was interacting with him. First time I was speaking to him. So I saw him take the statement and I saw him start draw a line through it. So I said, what are you doing? Him say, so I said, no, my manager said that you are to look for a libel in it. Even though nobody named in it, you're to look for if we're libeling anybody who was liable at the time. Mm-hmm. Him say, well, there's nothing there, but I think you could say this. He said, no. I said, no. No, I'm sorry. I wasn't told that you are to edit my work. I am the communicator. You are the lawyer. You should look for libel. You shouldn't look for how I should express myself. You can't tell me that. That's my job. He was shocked. He looked at me. So I said, are you finished? Is there any libel? He said, no, and I took it from him. Mm-hmm. Me never make him give me, me take it out time and I said, have a good day. And I walked away. I asked where the next office then. And I had to carry it to each office by myself. Not everybody was in office that day. So 2 days later, a press release of 5 sentences hits inboxes with no name, nobody being pointed to, but an incident being highlighted. This is just one incident of how red tape affects efficiency in the delivery of services, in the performance of tasks, how it infuriates people who want to get things done, and how it forces you into a position to say, you know what, I saw the system set, what may I kill up myself for? Because that's what the thing was intended to do to me, to blunt my enthusiasm, to kill my spirit, and to make me believe that, well, what the hell are we doing here? If something as simple as this takes so long. So you can imagine when millions of dollars are to be spent, hundreds of millions of dollars are to be spent, and the process that these things have to go through, to the extent, as Julian Robinson highlighted, several $1 billion worth of projects were not implemented this fiscal year because of red tape. And don't get it wrong. Processes, as I said, are very necessary. I'm very aware of that. And yes, over time, Jamaican officials, I'm not saying politicians alone because I blame them for everything, but Jamaican officials, public officials, as my grandmother said, them finger fearing bad. Some of them have been over time. And so the rules are designed to make finger fearing a difficult thing to do. But when you have the rules set in such a way that a government, whichever party is in government, wants to spend money to deliver services to create better outcomes for people, and you can't do it because of these things, then what the hell are we waking up and going to offices for? What are we working for? Why have we sat, politicians, I'm talking to you now, why have you sat and made rules that make it impossible for you to do your job efficiently? None of us out here in John Public or Jane Public had any role to play in the creation of the rules that are now handcuffing you to the bedpost. You passed these laws. You accepted suggestions from various people to create the procurement, the book of procurement guidelines, the handbook. You did it. And now you say you can't work because of red tape, because procurement is too muddled and it's too difficult. You need to unlock, as they would say in the House of Commons in Britain. Unlock. You need to free up the process for your own self, while at the same time making it difficult for the finger-fearing ones to dip them hands into the kitty. What a thing. 1 press release, 2 days, 5 sentences, no name. That's the best example of bureaucracy. And I've never forgotten that lesson. Red tape, still a kill away all these years later.
The Ministry of Justice offers free counseling to victims of crime. Call 876-946-0663. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
6:49.
Get extra on your hand with a partner plan from JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union. Conditions apply. The temperature, compliments of JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
What is the
For
on
more
my TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here ya,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently. But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes, Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor figure check pan her. Junior, the lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So the voice note a deepfake.
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait. I really want dege dumpling here, give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Hop into action this Easter with a loan from Chris and Charles. Borrow $575,000 or more with payments starting at just $12,595. Whether you're renovating, consolidating debt, or investing in your future, we've got you covered with fast processing, unbeatable rates, and exceptional service. Better hurry. Just like Easter buns, this offer won't last. Call 876-926-0609 or visit chrisandcharles.com today. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Time now for Street Smarts 1 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, George. And Tana, morning.
Good morning to you, Ludlow.
Yes, everyone in the studios, all our listeners, motoring public commuters. Yeah, well, it's a few weeks ago in the first report, it's hazy and overcast. Now it's bright and sunny. And guess what goes with it? The traffic. Can't escape it. It's a Monday morning, so all of you coming off Stony Hill, Kingston 9, into Kingston 8, Manor Park, Be prepared for some traffic there as you make your way into the Manor Park area. If you're coming off the other section there, Kingston 19, coming off Red Hills, coming to the foot there, you're going to also have some traffic. And there's also some traffic at the foot of Meadowbrook Estate there, Perkins Boulevard, to get onto Red Hills Road. So by extension, you're going to find Red Hills Road quite busy, active, going all the way down towards Eastwood Park Road. And you'll notice in the vicinity of Don Robin and the Washington Boulevard, in the vicinity of the overpass, you're going to also observe traffic going towards Constance Spring Road. And Constance Spring Road, busy for the time being. The same thing if you're on Waterloo. Upper Waterloo, not too bad, but when you get onto Waterloo, you're definitely going to have traffic. Kingsway, it's the same thing. Hope Road, Hope Trafalgar, going further into Hope Road into Harper Street, that's where you're going to have the busiest traffic. Mountain View so far, it's not too bad if you're going on Mountain View Avenue, up Mountain View. But remember, that is building. So by the time we get to our second report, you definitely have traffic. And we don't have to even talk about the Mandela. The Mandela has traffic eastbound, eastbound coming towards the 6 miles and 6 miles to 3 miles. Quite busy, bumper to bumper. And it's the same thing, 6 miles to Washington Boulevard. So it's a busy Monday morning. And I remember, bright and sunny conditions. Over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Street Smarts 1 there with Ludlow McLean. Up next, the word of the day.
Your word of the day, spelled E-L-U-C-U-B-R-A-T-E, spelled E-L-U-C-U-B-R-A-T-E.
Elucubrate. Elucubrate. Elucubrate.
Elucubrate is your word of the day, meaning to produce something by long and intensive effort. Elucubrate is your word of the day. Dictionary.com telling us that the word was first recorded between 1615 and 1625, to use it in a sentence. After months of research, the team finally managed to elucubrate a groundbreaking theory on black hole formation. The definition for the word elucubrate, again, to produce something by long and intensive effort. It's a verb. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Living Well is brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Today on Living Well, toenail fungus. Many times we take the health of our feet for granted. We may see things happening to them and we just simply ignore it, just say, oh well. This can be a very serious mistake. Our feet are very important and we must pay attention to what is happening to them and know what actions to take. Our feet are one of the most porous areas of the body. This means that things absorb into them quickly. There is a very common problem that affects more people than they realize. This is toenail fungus. What is toenail fungus? Nail fungus is also called onychomycosis. When fungus affects the areas between your toes and the skin of your feet, it is called athlete's foot, tinea pedis. Nail fungus is a common condition that begins as a white or yellow spot under the tip of your fingernail or toenail. As the fungal infection goes deeper, nail fungus may cause your nail to discolor, thicken, and crumble at the edge. It can affect several nails. If your condition is mild and not bothering you, you may not need treatment. If your nail fungus is painful and has caused thickened nails, self-care steps and medications may help. But even if treatment is successful, nail fungus can often recur. What are the symptoms of nail fungus? You may have nail fungus if one or more of your nails are thickened, whitish to yellow-brown discoloration, brittle, crumbly or ragged, distorted in shape, or a dark color caused by debris building up under your nail, smelling slightly foul. It is easy to get a fungal nail infection. If you have a fungal infection on your foot, the fungus can spread to one or more of your nails. This is quite common. You can also catch nail fungal infection in a warm, moist place like a pool deck or locker room. If someone else has a fungal infection and walked barefoot there, all you need to have to do is walk barefoot in the same area. Having wet nails for a long time can also lead to nail fungus. Some people develop it when they wear the same pair of sweaty shoes or boots every day. What you see on infected nails will vary with the type of fungus causing the infection. Most people see some nail discoloration. The nail may have a white spot, Some nails turn yellow, brown, or green. As the infection worsens, infected nails will then thicken, lift up from the finger or toe, or crumble. Some nails will become thinner. If you have diabetes or weakened immune system, treatment is especially important. After getting a fungal nail infection, people who have diabetes have an increased risk of developing sores that do not heal. Sores that do not heal can lead to a serious health problem. It's important to see a dermatologist or other doctor at the first sign of a nail problem. A dermatologist can tell you whether you have a nail infection or something else. Early diagnosis and treatment are recommended for everyone who has nail fungus. Caught early and treated, a fungal nail infection is likely to clear up and you will regrow a healthy nail. Treatment can also prevent the fungus from spreading to other parts of your body and to other people. Pay close attention to your feet, especially if you have diabetes. Your feet are not disconnected from your body. That's Living Well for today. Tune in next time for The Dangers of Carbon Monoxide.
Living Well was brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
You did the job search, you aced the interview, and you've got the job. Hey, I'm Tana. Today on Lifestyle Pages, adjusting to your new job. Starting a new job can be both daunting and overwhelming. Adopting to a new routine and getting to know your co-workers. Here are some things you can do when starting a new job. Adopt the company's culture. This is very important. Listen and observe at all times. Bear in mind you're the new employee, therefore make the effort to reach out, but don't overdo it. Think outside the box. Always show your enthusiasm and creativity in your work. Here are some things you mustn't do. Don't compare your previous job to this one, even if it's the same position. This should be your opportunity to learn new things and contribute bright ideas. Your first 90 days are crucial. It will make or break you. So, have an open mind. I'm Tana, and those were your Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 this morning, Monday, March 31, 2025, police sergeant dies while attempting to prune a tree at his home in St. Catherine. Prime Minister Holness says deeds, not words, are what will push Jamaica in the direction of prosperity. The Director of Elections says scores of persons capitalized on the recent deadline to have their names included on the voters list. And in international news, France's controversial far-right leader is convicted of embezzlement.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The policeman electrocuted at his home in Eltham Acres, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Sunday has been identified as Sergeant William Wallace. Sergeant Wallace was reportedly attached to the Protective Services Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. It's understood that parts of an almond tree in the policeman's yard were brushing high-tension wires belonging to the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS. The policeman was reportedly cutting off the affected branches when tragedy struck. The development of Jamaica cannot be made on empty promises. That's the word from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Dr. Holness was reacting to a recent comment from opposition leader Mark Golding that the PNP's budget proposals were not meant to be implemented in the upcoming fiscal year.
In our last budget, several proposals were made, and the Minister of Finance costed it and showed that those promises didn't make sense, couldn't be financed, would wreck the budget. The development of this country cannot be made on empty promises. Can't come to Parliament and make promises, and then when tackled, you get up and say, it was not my intention that these would be implemented. In effect, empty promise.
Golding made the comment after Finance Minister Favour Williams chided the PNP's budget proposals for the absence of numbers to indicate how much implementation would cost taxpayers. The PNP held a press conference last Thursday where it revealed that the proposals would cost approximately $23 billion. But while addressing last Saturday's banquet of the Manchester Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Holness says the days of Jamaica's economy being compromised by short-term gratification are over.
Our electorate has never really asked our politicians to price or cost the promises that they make. Because we want the satisfaction now, we accept anything that is told to us. For too long, our electorate has been misled and our political economy has focused on the wrong things. For the first time, you have a government that has delivered 10 budgets of stability. We have presented budgets to you without ever running with anything. That is a significant transformation in Jamaica. But more than that, we are presenting a budget in an election year, and it is a balanced budget.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has commended the police for their recent success in seizing illegal guns and ammunition.
In the last 4 weeks, we have had several major seizures of weapons and other contraband coming into our formal ports. All the people who are importing guns into Jamaica, whether you live here or cooperate with criminals abroad, you have no hiding place. Jamaica has invested heavily in improving the sophistication of our security apparatus. And that sophistication is not only in the purchase of equipment, in the training of our officers, but also in building strong diplomatic country-to-country relationships that will help us to undermine the criminal networks that exist across borders.
That's the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. Nearly 1,700 pounds of cocaine have been seized during police operations since the start of the year. The latest drug bust was at a seaport in Kingston on Wednesday. According to the police, more than 1,000 pounds of cocaine were seized during a joint operation conducted by the Jamaica Customs Agency and members of the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division. The cocaine was disguised as Cuban honey. The estimated street value of the cocaine is $3.1 billion. It follows a recent gun find at a warehouse on Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston earlier in March. According to the police, 30 firearms and more than 100 rounds of ammunition were seized. The cash includes 24 pistols, 6 rifles, 32 magazines and 102 rounds of ammunition. Government Senator Abka Fitz-Henley is challenging the claim by PNP President Mark Golding that he was not involved in the Finsac saga. Golding made the comment at a PNP media conference last week. Shalois Michael reports.
The Finsac era refers to the near collapse of Jamaica's financial system in the 1990s. During his recent contribution to the budget debate, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness hinted that members of the opposition benefited from favorable deals linked to Finsac through investment bank Daring Bunting and Golding DBNG. Golding was a partner in DBNG. But according to the opposition leader, he had no role in Finsac whatsoever. Mr. Golding says he was an ordinary businessman who at the time had to navigate a difficult situation like any other. But Senator Fitz-Henley says this is not true.
He said he came into the PNP via Dr. Omar Davies, where he gave advice regarding the financial sector. Of course, Dr. Davies was the finance minister in the 1990s, during the meltdown of the financial sector. I put it to you, sir, that it is highly improbable that the opposition leader was not consulted on those issues of the day. And therefore, I submit to the Parliament of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica that when the opposition leader says he had nothing to do with the Finsac, no part to play, he should not be believed. In fact, the public record suggests he did not speak the truth.
Senator Fitz-Henley says the public record shows that payments were made to DB&G during the FinSec era.
Deals were entered into which the anti-corruption agency of the day described as irregular and highly improper, and arising from those deals, public funds, millions of US dollars, millions of Jamaican taxpayer money were shelled out and used to line the pockets of a company owned by Peter Bunting and Mark Golding, two men who now aspire to lead Jamaica. The Gleaner says these developments occurred after a hectic year for DB&G, which saw Peter Bunting and attorney Mark Golding playing a prominent part in the company's operations.
Senator Fitzhenley continued.
In one such payment, PNP administration via the Finance Ministry had an obligation to pay Daring, Bunting and Golding over $29.5 million US dollars. FinSac paid approximately $10 million US dollars to Bunting and Golding's company, and the Debt Management Department of the Ministry of Finance paid the balance of US $20 million. In another instance, the Financial Gleaner of December 5, 1997 tells us that Bunting and Golding's entity abandoned plans for a merger and took full control of Billy Craig Merchant Bank, which is badly affected by the PNP policies of the 1990s. And guess what happened after Senator Siva Wright? FinSac, which was set up by Golding's political allies, pumped $85 million of taxpayers' monies into the bank, which was taken over by Bunting and Golding's company.
Senator Fitzhenley says the evidence proves that Golding is not fit to lead the nation.
What I just alluded to are two pieces of evidence which confirm that the opposition leader's claim that he had nothing to do with the FinSac is false. Indeed, he misled the people of Jamaica. His latest comment is confirmation that he cannot be trusted to be honest with the Jamaican people.
Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
South East St. Catherine MP to the JLP's Robert Miller is seeking to assure residents of Portmore that the municipality will be transformed into the country's 15th parish in the coming weeks. He made the comment at a JLP Area Council meeting in Mountain View, St. Andrew on Sunday.
They went for an injunction. You know what an injunction is? Them go a court to stop something or for refrain from us doing something. And the order came last Friday that the injunction was lifted. When it's lifted, what that mean? The lawyers can tell you. That mean we can go ahead. It was not unconstitutional. However, we have some things that we need to do and we are going to do it. Because the people of Portmore deserve their parish and the people of Portmore will get their parish.
The comment follows a court ruling last Friday, lifting an injunction which had blocked the government from proceeding with the push to make Portmore a parish. The PNP had filed a lawsuit earlier this month to block Portmore from being declared a parish. Both the JLP and the PNP have welcomed the ruling, with each side claiming vindication in the court's decision. The opposition spokesman on Portmore, Fitz Jackson, says the Supreme Court's order affirms the PNP's stance that the JLP's efforts were a blatant breach of the constitutional process. But according to Miller, the PNP's claim to victory is chaotic.
What the opposition seek to do is to create panic and mayhem. I say the one when named Fitz Jackson out there, I create pure panic. Him just talk. And if you can realize, when they impose the tolls on the backs of Portmore people, them have to pay if you come to Kingston and pay if you go back home. Them never dare talk. Them never dare consult. All them do are wreck the lives of Portmore people. I am saying to them and the people, you sleep, mark death.
Robert Miller, the MP for South East St. Catherine. Opposition spokesman on housing and sustainable living, Senator Floyd Morris, is maintaining that the Holness administration has not done enough to provide housing solutions for the average Jamaican. He was speaking at a PNP meeting in Northeast St. Andrew on Sunday.
There is a serious problem in Jamaica with housing. The average Jamaican for the past 9 years have not been able to purchase an affordable home. And what the Holness-led government has been doing for the past 9 years is to focus on the higher end of the income market.
During his recent budget presentation, the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, announced several initiatives to help empower Jamaicans to purchase a home. These include increasing the loan limit for a single contributor at the National Housing Trust to $9 million and lowering the deposit requirement for low-income earners from 5 to 2%. The opposition leader, Mark Golding, also presented a plan for housing. Among his ideas is a $1 billion loan facility for young first-time buyers. Senator Morris says Mark Golding has the better housing plan.
I listened to the budget debate and I listened to what the Prime Minister had to say about housing. And when we listen to what he had to say in comparison to what our leader had to say about housing in Jamaica, it is like chalk to cheese. We are going to make sure that when we build the houses, 50,000 houses over the next 5 years, we are going to make sure that the land portion for the housing costs is not included in the final payment for NHD contributors. That is going to see a significant reduction in the cost of housing in Jamaica. Between $2.5 to $3 million at minimum will be reduced off the price of housing. That is transformation at its best.
Senator Floyd Morris, opposition spokesman on housing and sustainable living. The Director of Elections, Glasspool Brown, says Jamaicans capitalized on the opportunity last Saturday to register to vote in the upcoming general election.
Well, the day went fairly well yesterday. A number of persons took advantage of the Saturday opening. When the number of persons came and seek to be registered, a number came in terms of transferring from one constituency to another. And there were another set that came to collect their renewed ID card. So overall, I think the day went fairly well.
The Electoral Office of Jamaica opened its offices on the weekend to facilitate persons who wanted to register to vote in the next general election, which is set to be held by September this year. Brown says today, Monday, March 31, is the last day for persons to register to be on the next voters list, which will be published by the end of May.
Well, the data should be available by tomorrow in terms of what the number of persons who took advantage of yesterday. The registration in this phase 51 will be completed or ends tomorrow, the 31st of March, after which we then go through the verification process and do the final check for the preparation of the list that will be released on the 31st of May.
That's Glasspool Brown, the Director of Elections. And Brown says the EOJ is now in the process of training election day workers.
The recruitment process is going okay so far. We are now in the process of training our election day workers, and that is going fairly well. We have a timeline that we anticipate that we complete our training. So even though we're recruited so far, we just continue to encourage persons to ensure that they undertake the necessary training for them to be certified or approved as to work for us on election day.
Glasspool Brown, Director of Elections. In Trinidad and Tobago, a 51-year-old man from Penal has been arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting a girl with cerebral palsy at her home on March 29. The Newsday is reporting that the girl's father left home around 9 p.m. to purchase food about 200 meters away from the home. When the man returned 10 minutes later, he found his nephew there. The nephew said he went to the house around 9:05 p.m. and saw a man whom he knows forcing the girl to commit a sexual act. The nephew allegedly confronted the intruder. The father called the police, who responded swiftly and arrested the suspect. In France, leader of the far-right National Rally, Marine Le Pen, has been found guilty of embezzling European funds to finance the organization. Le Pen has been sentenced to 5 years of ineligibility with immediate effect, effectively ruling her out of the 2027 presidential race. The judges also gave Le Pen a 4-year prison sentence, 2 of which have been suspended. She has also been fined €100,000. She's almost certain to appeal, and the prison penalty and fine would not be applied until her appeals are exhausted. The BBC is reporting that Le Pen walked out of the room before the judge could finish handing down the sentencing details. And just an update on that Myanmar earthquake which happened on the weekend.
A woman trapped beneath the remains of a hotel building for nearly 60 hours after a devastating earthquake struck Myanmar was pulled alive from the rubble on Monday in a rare moment of hope for rescue teams scrambling to find survivors. The Guardian newspaper in the UK is reporting that rescuers, many of them unequipped volunteers, have spent days trying to free people from buildings collapsed following Friday's huge earthquake, which killed more than 1,700 people in the country and at least 18 in neighboring Thailand. It's feared the true scale of the damage is yet to emerge. In the early hours of Monday, there was a brief moment of relief when rescue workers carried a woman from the rubble of the Great Wall Hotel in Mandalay after a 5-hour operation. That's according to the Chinese embassy in Myanmar. China is among several countries that have sent aid and personnel to assist in rescue efforts. A video showed onlookers clapping as the woman was carried away on a stretcher. She was reported to be in a stable condition. Across central Myanmar, rescue teams have scrambled to free people from beneath countless collapsed buildings. Homes, religious sites, schools, universities, hotels and hospitals have all been damaged or destroyed. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:18.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, or 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 18 degrees Celsius in Mandeville. Street Smart Stu and Ludlow McLean. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Morning again, George, and listeners motoring public, and it's still bright and sunny. But remember, there's increased vehicular flow, traffic from the areas I mentioned earlier on, and if you're even on the other side, coming through Harborview, well, if you're coming by 7 miles there, be prepared for some traffic in that vicinity of the roundabout. But once you get onto Sir Plaza Glasspool Highway, it's pretty good going. Michael Manley Boulevard is okay too. Port Royal Street. You'll also observe traffic coming from Marcus Garvey Drive, especially if you're coming off the Portmore Toll onto the Marcus Garvey off-ramp. There's traffic there, traffic in the 3 miles area. So I'd say by the time at this time of the morning, all the intersections are quite busy and quite active. So we just urge you to be careful, be patient, and look out for your fellow motorists. As usual, at Street Smart, your safety is all concerned. Over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 2. Up next, front page. Front page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. On the front page this morning, we'll be bringing to you paid highlights of the government senators in the upper house on Friday. The Senate on Friday passed the appropriations bill for financial year 2025-26. The government is projecting to spend $1.3 trillion for the fiscal year. On the front page this morning, we bring to you a paid broadcast of the government senator's contribution to the debate.
The following is a paid broadcast by the Jamaica Labour Party, featuring presentations by Senators the Honourable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Delana Seabright and Abka Fitzhenley from the Senate sitting on Friday, March 28th. They debated the Appropriation Act 2025, our nation's budget.
Mr. President, as members of this chamber, we're always very clear of our duty as parliamentarians to the people of Jamaica. People of Jamaica choose a government and bestow on that government the awesome responsibility of good governance, of making laws for the peace and good governance of this country. One of the most important duties in this universe of undertakings is the duty of managing the nation's finances. So as we approach the end of another fiscal year and embark on the start of a new one, our sense of duty and purpose is even further heightened. We're called on to explain to the people of Jamaica our plans for the revenues and expenditures and to get parliamentary approval for the budget at the start of each financial year. Importantly, the budget identifies the government's priorities in terms of the goals and aspirations for the development and upliftment of the Jamaican people. And for us, those elements touch every facet of life, every mother and father, every child, every household, every student, every teacher, every worker and workplace, every citizen at all stages of life across the country. For us, the budget is for and about the people of Jamaica in the truest sense. In support of the appropriations bill, the government has delivered excellent budget presentations in that other place, setting out the plans and priorities of this administration. Mr. President, we received a master class in responsible financial management from Jamaica's first woman ever to deliver a budget to Jamaica, the Honourable Favour Williams, demonstrating this administration's very real belief in the empowerment of women. This is another area in which we don't just talk, but we act and we deliver. We also had the benefit of receiving an educational, inspirational, and responsive presentation by Dr. the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, and together they were unmatched in terms of breadth, vision, and clarity on a feasible and sustainable path towards national development, reflecting the sound and steady leadership Jamaica continues to need if we are to achieve our developmental goals in the interests of all Jamaicans. This, Mr. President, strong and steady management is how we ensure that no one is left behind and that all Jamaicans have the opportunity to achieve their dreams. Mr. President, in the government's budget presentations in that other place, where matters were to be phased in, like the income tax threshold increases, which start next month, and will take place over the subsequent 2 years, and the asset tax reduction for financial institutions for which consultations will be undertaken, and the rural bus system, which starts with the expansion of current routes. When things were to be phased, we said so during the budget debate, as credible leaders understanding fully the seriousness of the process being undertaken within these chambers and the integrity it requires. Mr. President, this morning I want the people of Jamaica to be reassured of a few things. One, that the government has its best interests at heart. Two, that the government respects the people of Jamaica and takes them seriously and the trust that they have put in us. Three, that we have been managing the country in a way that is producing some of the best results since independence, and it is to give us the ability to do more for them. Four, that we've prepared an actual, solid, and credible budget that stands up to scrutiny, and that our plans for the next fiscal year, which have been shared, are credible and well thought out, and of course, that this budget builds on the achievements of the Jamaican people in support of their government and to deliver more and achieve more together. Mr. President, while there is still much work to be done, we can be proud of the significant progress our nation has made. It is irrefutable that independent Jamaica is in its most resilient economic position ever. We are in our best position that despite the effects from shocks, including natural disasters, and even sustaining technically two consecutive contraction periods, we recognize the resilience of our economy and the fact, Mr. President, that we are on an upward trajectory again. Mr. President, through well-managed fiscal and monetary policy, the average annual inflation under this administration has been 5.5%, the lowest under any administration since 1972. And our current annual inflation is down to 4.4% at the lower end of BOJ's target range of 4 to 6%. Mr. President, in respect of employment and job creation, when we took office in 2016, the unemployment rate was 13.7%, and now the unemployment rate is at a historic low of 3.5%. Since 2016, we have created 253,000 new jobs, an average of 28,000 new jobs per year. Our rate of job creation is nearly twice that of the PNP's. Mr. President, in 2016, youth unemployment, again where we found it, was at an alarming 32%, meaning 1 of every 3 young people was unemployed in 2016. And now it is down to 11%, Mr. President, a third of where we found it. Mr. President, there are some people who tell the Jamaican people that we are hiding behind numbers and that the jobs are not quality jobs. But these are not only the same people who couldn't provide the jobs or the framework to facilitate these jobs in the first place, and the ones who are now standing right in the BPO sector that they have cried down for years for their own political narrow agenda, even as we grow it, to now say that BPO jobs will be a big part of their plans. We were there before COVID, believing in the BPO sector, Mr. President. During COVID, making strategic changes that ensured that while BPOs were shutting down in other countries, ours were able to stay open, keeping people employed and earning. So I say to the BPO operators and indeed to the knowledge processing operators who we are encouraging to establish themselves here, that we have always understood your worth and will continue to partner with you in achieving inclusive growth and job creation. I want to emphasize, Mr. President, that the unemployment statistics that they say we are hiding behind represent real people and real jobs, impacting families and communities positively. Young people who once faced no opportunities are seeing doors open. Mothers and fathers who struggle to make ends meet are doing better for their families, securing stable employment and building a brighter future. Is there more to be done? Always, and we are committed to that. But to try to say that the figures don't mean anything is to do a disservice to the people going out to lawful employment every day, building Jamaica. It does a disservice to them. And so we say to them that as they continue to choose to maintain the faith with this administration, they can be sure that the future will be brighter for them with our continued efforts. Mr. President, the government has also brought Jamaica's debt to GDP ratio down to unprecedented levels. Next week, it will be at just above 68%, 68.7%. Another significant achievement recognized the world over as a model for development, and one in respect of which we have not been uncharitable about recognizing the contributions made by others. But it is indisputable that it is this Andrew Holness-led administration that has taken the difficult, strategic, and prudent decisions to ensure that even through the worst global pandemic and economic crisis in 100 years, we have been able to protect and build on our gains. Mr. President, this is the first time that our debt-to-GDP ratio has fallen below pre-FinSAC levels in the mid-1990s. I just want to speak a little bit to the systematic strengthening of our social protection framework, the expanding of opportunities, and the breaking of generational poverty. In 2021, we introduced Jamaica's first ever social pension, and we increased it by 120% since then. Mr. President, this is for elders over the age of 70 who were not attached or receiving a regular pension. So this has really helped the standard of living of our elders. We have ramped up investment in the new social housing program. I know many of us see the very emotionally charged and very moving ceremonies where persons are having their lives changed. In 2022, we were the first country in the world to implement a tourism workers' pension scheme. I'm sure we will hear more about that. And in 2024, we launched the Jamaica Entertainers and Creatives Insurance Plan, among other support to our creative sector. In 2024, Mr. President, we also increased funding for PATH by 30%, having already increased it by 40% in 2017. Mr. President, in the upcoming year, we'll introduce the Hope for Children Trust Fund, again to break the cycle of generational poverty, a long-term visionary program. I hope we'll hear more about it. And on the more immediate but still inclusionary path, we're introducing $1 billion solidarity program to provide cash grants to vulnerable individuals who are not enrolled in PATH, who are not on a social pension, who don't receive NIS or the reverse income tax credit. They are on the margins of society, Mr. President, and we want to bring them in.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:33.
Fix up with Fleetwood products for your home improvement, personal care, and aromatherapy needs. They have your well-being in mind. Available at retailers island-wide. The temperature by Fleetwood Jamaica is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Me grew up as my granny save her money under her mattress.
But at an old time something. That's where I save my money in the bank. And because I want to buy a little house, I also save in a building society. We have to be smart with how we save our money.
So what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in. Make I tell you something. With the JDIC Deposit Insurance Scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
In this uncertain U.S. immigration climate, you need expert guidance you can trust. The Consular Queen LLC handles visas, waivers, petitions, and more, making immigration stress-free. Don't navigate the process alone. Get professional support today. Call 470-593-8448 now. That's 470-593-8448. The Consular Queen. Unite families, change lives. 470-593-8448. Secure your future today.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
The following is a paid broadcast by the Jamaica Labour Party, featuring presentations by Senators the Honourable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Delana Seabright and Abka Fitzhenley from the Senate sitting on Friday, March 28th. They debated the Appropriation Act 2025, our nation's budget.
Mr. President, I rise today in strong support of the 25-26 Appropriations Act, expertly delivered by the Honourable Minister of Finance and the Public Service, the Honourable Favour Williams, and powerfully reinforced by the strategic leadership of our Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Andrew Michael Holness. The budget is a clear signal of responsible governance, a people-focused, growth-driven, and investment-ready blueprint for national development. And despite the trials of 2024, yes, Hurricane Beryl, yes, Tropical Storm Raphael, Jamaica's economy stood resilient. And through prudent, strategic, and consistent fiscal management, we're now firmly back on a growth path. So real GDP growth is projected to come to 2.2% in the coming fiscal year. We have net international reserves of $5.5 billion US, one of the strongest financial buffers ever in our country's history. Our unemployment rate stands at 3.5%, the lowest ever. Our debt to GDP ratio has fallen to 68.7% and on track to 63.7% next year. A monumental shift from the 135% peak we're at in 2013. And inflation remains within target, with food prices beginning to stabilize, and you can feel it in the economy that a calm is coming back. Now, Fitch Ratings has reaffirmed Jamaica's BB- credit ratings with a positive outlook, recognizing our strong governance and sound fiscal trajectory. So this gives investors real confidence to build, confidence to expand, confidence to invest in Jamaica. But really, Mr. President, this budget puts people first, and that's the truth. This is not just an economic plan. It is a social compact with the Jamaican people. It is designed to ease pressure on households, expand opportunity, and leave more money in the pockets of each and every Jamaican. And Minister Johnson Smith went through some of it. I mean, the minimum wage has been increased from $6,200 in 2016, and it's going to be $16,000 per week soon. 158% increase, 3 times the rate of cumulative inflation over the years. That is putting people first. The income tax threshold going to $2 million, up from $592,000 in 2016. More than tripling where we were. The reverse income tax credit, and it's a lot of people benefited from this, $20,000 each to hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans. The government literally gave back giving back $11 billion to the people. We look at the GCT and electricity bills at households. We're going to cut that in half by May 1. Again, putting back money in people's pockets. Then we have a program, and there's so many, because you can't even go into it. You have $1 billion program that will support wiring for prepaid meters at houses alongside a $4,000 monthly credit for 20,000 prepaid JPS customers. That's helping people. That's putting people first. So, Mr. President, this is real life, real relief for real people. This is what it means to be people-centered in policy and practice. Money for everyone. Mikey, Marie, Dwayne, Sheila, everybody getting back money in their pocket. And that is the truth. Now, Mr. President, tourism is thriving. It is. And reaching more Jamaicans than ever. And I listened to the presentation of Senator Allen. It remains a powerful engine for economic growth, thanks to strategic planning, public-private partnerships, and a relentless focus on innovation. In 2024, Jamaica welcomed 4.1 million visitors, generating $4.3 billion US overall in earnings. And that's a year when we had Hurricane Beryl, Tropical Storm Raphael. We still have the Boeing crisis. Many airlines are still struggling to get enough planes to service all their destinations. We have a very hotly contested US election that I can tell you was a distraction for months and dominated the screens of the United States. And of course, inflation, extreme weather events, but we still did phenomenally well, relatively flat, but 4.1 billion visitors overall. And Mr. President, yes, it is not just about numbers. This is about transformation through investment, employment, and empowerment. Well, major developments last year, Princess opened 1,000 new rooms, and another 1,000 are on the way. And those rooms were opened, by the way, late last year, October, November. Rio Palace in Trelawney, 753 rooms, opened in the middle of last year too. And we have, in May, and we had many more hotels that are coming along. We have the new Grand Palladium Resorts, Unico Resort, Hard Rock, Moon Palace, Secrets in St. Anne, coming to St. Anne, and Royalton coming to St. Anne, Mega Plan Bahia Principe, and I could go on and on. But what this represents, and we should do graphs. Thousands of new rooms, thousands of new jobs, countless opportunities for businesses big and small, from the ground transportation operators to the farmers to the suppliers like CPJ and Red Stripe. Money all around in our economy because of these developments. But I want to point, Mr. President, perhaps to what I think is a most exciting transformation in our towns and communities, and that's the Airbnb revolution. In 2017, Jamaica welcomed 59,500 Airbnb guests. 59,500 Airbnb guests. And that year we actually went to, myself, Minister Bartlett and the team went to Airbnb headquarters in San Francisco to meet with the executive leadership team there. And they were saying that they think Jamaica is going to grow and skyrocket. Last year, Jamaica welcomed nearly 840,000 Airbnb guests. 1,300% increase in Airbnb guests. And that's bringing in over, and that's local and international visitors for full clarification. But that's bringing in over $32 billion in revenue into the pockets of Airbnb operators and owners. So what we're seeing is the democratization of tourism from Trenchtown, where you have Airbnb facilities, to Treasure Beach, where you have Airbnb facilities, to Portland, where Mr. Crawford knows you have many Airbnb facilities, to Negril, where we have Airbnb facilities. Everyday Jamaicans are opening their doors, their culture, and their talents to the world and earning income. And see a picture there with tourists in flankers. It is an amazing situation. This, Mr. President, when you see tourists walking up and down in flankers, it's community tourism in action. It's not just talk, it's in action. So, Mr. President, while we're investing in our people and creative potential, we cannot speak of sustainable tourism without speaking of the people who make it happen, the workers, the creatives, the innovators. You know, we have to highlight. We implemented, brainchild of Minister Bartlett and the team, the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, a global first. And now we have over 10,000 contributors signed up and $4 billion Jamaican dollars in investment under the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, and it still don't reach anywhere. We did that. In 2024, last year, we launched the Entertainers and Creatives Insurance Plan that ensures our cultural icons, and Minister Johnson Smith spoke to this, are protected. And just yesterday, we launched the Tourism Entertainment Academy under the Tourism Enhancement Fund. Minister Bartlett and Minister Grange launched the Tourism Entertainment Academy, which falls under the Tourism Enhancement Fund, which is providing training, Mr. President, mentorship, Mr. President, and industry linkages to performers, to creatives, and to cultural entrepreneurs. Mr. President, this is not just talk. This is concrete, budget-backed actions that give Jamaicans tools to build a future in the world's most dynamic industry. And just to point out, in light of the fact that my leg was pulled, in the linkages space, and I want us to focus now on the micro and small level. I'm not going to talk about the big boys. But our speed networking initiatives has pumped $1 billion into the economy over the last several years. And that's for micro and small players, connecting them with the hoteliers. Then we also have, and there will be more growth. We also have Agri-Linkages Exchange. We set up a platform with RADA. We came together. And we have 2,000 small farmers registered on our Agri-Linkages Exchange. And last year alone, just last year, for these 2,000 farmers, small farmers, $450 million in sales for 4.5 million kilograms of produce. And that's just one piece of the chain, one piece, because many of these farmers have their own arrangements with hotels and so on. And beyond that, our partnership with Exim Bank. The Tourism Enhancement Fund has an excellent partnership with Exim Bank because we want to teach people how to fish. We want to teach them how to grow their business and, do well. $1.93 billion in loans to small and medium tourism enterprises last year alone, benefiting over 300 entrepreneurs, including people probably known by you, my good friend, Senator Allen. And I can go on and on.
Crispy, crunchy, tantalizing fried chicken only at Bird Shack. Satisfy your hunger today. The time brought to you by Bird Shack Fried Chicken in Kingston, Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios is
7:47.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
At Active Home Center, we've got everything you need to create that perfect spa retreat. From comfort-height toilets to the widest selection in faucets and shower enclosures to stylish tubs and the latest trends in bathroom cabinets in various sizes. Our bathroom collection has the perfect fit for every space and every budget. Your relaxing retreat starts here. Visit our showroom in Kingston at 84 Conson Spring Road or Montego Bay at Barnett Tech Park. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices. Yo, my boss.
Yo,
my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some stackerific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, satisfy yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King. Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
The following is a paid broadcast by the Jamaica Labour Party, featuring presentations by Senators the Honourable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Delana Seabright, and Abka Fitz-Henley from the Senate sitting on Friday, March 28th. They debated the Appropriation Act 2025, our nation's budget.
I have briefly assumed my feet, sir, to indicate that, like the captains of industry across many sectors, including the private sector, I find a budget tabled by the finance minister in February of this year to be credible. Yes. Not only do I find the numbers well thought out, I believe that the projects being pursued are signal indicators that the administration, though committed to fiscal discipline, is intent on ensuring that as many Jamaicans as possible continue to benefit and reap dividends from the national pie, that of a stable Jamaican economy. I believe it's no small feat that the administration has been able to continue giving back to the people of Jamaica despite several events, including COVID-19 and Hurricane Beryl, which hit the Jamaican economy hard. And by giving back, I mentioned the increase in the annual general personal income tax threshold and also the cut in GCT on electricity from 14% to 7%, which will become effective in July of this year. I noted some public concern regarding the percentage-wise apparent cut in the budget, but deeper interrogation of the numbers will indicate that that's a positive outcome of the administration's debt servicing, which has been successfully pursued. This year, in a few days' time, Jamaica will achieve a debt to GDP of 68%. We can take much pride in the fact that this will be the lowest debt to GDP ratio in Jamaica since the 1970s, over 50 years ago. I'm of the view, Mr. Senator Gale, that one of the greatest legacies this generation may bequeath to the next is low national debt. Having examined the budget, well, there's some way to go, as evidenced by the $162 billion in debt which will become due this year. The general figures and the trajectory indicate that the administration is on the right track in terms of debt management and is making consequential strides which will enumerate to the benefit of future generations. Senator Crawford suggested that debt management under the current administration of the Jamaica Labour Party administration pales in comparison to what transpired under the PNP administration. This is not true. It is false. And I give you one piece of statistic which will support my assertion. For the phase 1991 to 1995, money supply in Jamaica averaged 48.2%. Inflation averaged a whopping 40.6% annually. Interest rates averaged 45%. And domestic debt exploded under the PNP from 10.1 billion to 60.2 billion, a 500% increase. So when Senator Crawford intimated that the debt was adroitly and successfully managed by the PNP administration, he's simply not speaking the truth. On the matter of national security, sir, I wish to make some quick comments. I believe the budget presents confirmation that the administration, despite making significant investment in the security forces, investing in the intelligence capabilities of the security forces, upgrading police stations, that we continue to be steadfast in investing heavily in protecting the nation. I wish to salute the men and women of the JCF, led by Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, who continue to put their lives on the line to ensure that we are safe. Indeed, it was good to hear this week the USA's chief diplomat moving to offer words of commendation on the occasion of his visit to Kingston concerning significant strides made in the fight against violent crime. There is no doubt that the yeoman's effort of the security forces, combined with strong support from this administration, have combined to ensure that last year there was a 19% decline in murders, and this year that violent scourge is down by 35%. Senator Crawford also sought to cast aspersions on the administration's efforts. Well, the Jamaica Labour Party administration's track record at fighting crime. I've made the point here before, and I'll make it again. It is a matter of fact that from as far back as 1972, anytime the Jamaica Labour Party has come to power and inherited office from the PNP, we have presided over a decline in murders and violent crime. 1972, when the Manley administration came to office, inherited a year when 145 Jamaicans were killed in the former calendar year. Manley left power, 889 Jamaicans killed in his final year, a massive 449% increase. In further rebutting Senator Crawford's assertion, another case in point, the Jamaica Labour Party administration came to office and inherited a calendar year when 889 Jamaicans were killed. We left it at 414 in 1989, a massive 58% reduction in murders. Again, the PNP came to power in 1989, and in 2007, the final year, 1,584 Jamaicans killed, a massive 238% increase. In fact, that was when Jamaica was declared by the international media as the murder capital of the world. The Jamaica Labour Party came back to office having inherited a murder rate of 1,584 and left it at 1,130, a decline of 29%. Enter Peter Bunting as Security Minister. Inherited a year of 1,130 Jamaicans murdered. He left it at 1,208 in 2015, an increase of 6%. Every life counts, sir. The use of the statistics is not to discount the fact that every life counts, but to make a simple and poignant point. The data confirms that when the Jamaica Labour Party administration is in office, murders decline during our tenure, but under the PNP, murders increase. Contrary to what Damian Crawford told the Parliament earlier today, the fact is the Jamaica Labour Party has a more credible and successful track record at fighting crime. In further assessing the 2024-2025 budget, I've listened carefully to narratives in the public domain, and I mean no disregard for anyone who has occupied the post. But I believe the current finance minister, when we consider her technical skill set and her field of study, is arguably the most technically qualified individual who has had the honor of occupying that post at Hero Circle. Therefore, her caution that the bunch of promises from the opposition would prompt a fiscal tsunami that is akin to FinSAC 2.0 is not to be taken lightly. It's a caution that should send chills up the spine of every Jamaican who means this country well and who understand what FinSAC did to this country and how badly it affected the quality of life of the people of Jamaica. And by badly affecting our quality of life, I don't allude to the opposition Senate leader or the opposition leader. I allude to how the policies of the PNP administration wrecked over 40,000 businesses, destroyed the mitochondria of the Jamaican economy, caused our debt to spiral, set our GDP back by a number of decades, and hurt the lives and the aspirations of thousands upon thousands of Jamaicans who are merely seeking to make an honest living via industry and commerce. On the matter of avoiding mistakes of the past and ensuring that current policies do not adversely impact the economy, similar to the yesteryear, I heard the opposition leader commenting that he has nothing to do with the FinSAC. Senator Morgan alluded to comments made by the opposition leader when he said he came into the PNP via Dr. Omar Davies, where he gave advice regarding the financial sector. Of course, Dr. Davies was the finance minister in the 1990s. During the meltdown of the financial sector. I put it to you, sir, that it is highly improbable that the opposition leader was not consulted on those issues of the day. And therefore, I submit to the Parliament of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica that when the opposition leader says he had nothing to do with the FinSAC, no part to play, he should not be believed. In fact, the public record suggests he did not speak the truth. The public record, including the findings of the country's then anti-corruption agency, the Office of the Contractor General, do not support the opposition leader's claim he had nothing to do with the FinSAC. As a matter of fact, the public record indicates that there were payments made to a company called Daring, Bunting and Golding, a company owned at the time by Peter Bunting and Mark Golding. Payment made during the FinSAC debacle. In one such payment, the PNP administration via the finance ministry had an obligation to pay Daring, Bunting and Golding over $29.5 million US. Furthermore, FinSAC paid approximately $10 million US to Bunting and Golding's company on July 29, 2005, and the Debt Management Department of the Ministry of Finance paid the balance of US $20 million. In another instance, the Financial Gleaner of December 5, 1997 tells us that Bunting and Golding's entity abandoned plans for a merger and took full control of Billy Craig Merchant Bank, which is badly affected by the PNP policies of the 1990s. And guess what happened after Senator Seaverite? FinSAC, which was set up by Golding's political allies, pumped $85 million of taxpayers' monies into the bank, which was taken over by Bunting and Golding's company. The Gleaner says these developments occurred after a hectic year for DB&G, which saw Peter Bunting and attorney Mark Golding playing a prominent part in the company's operations. What I just alluded to are two pieces of evidence which confirm that the opposition leader's claim that he had nothing to do with the FinSAC is false. Indeed, he misled the people of Jamaica. And his latest comment is confirmation that he cannot be trusted to be honest with the Jamaican people. And as Senator Scott Bartley would say, cannot be trusted to lead this great nation. Let me give the people of Jamaica the undiluted truth concerning FinSAC. While iniquitous PNP policies caused over 40,000 Jamaican businesses to collapse, destroyed savings, and drove many Jamaicans to take their own lives, deals were entered into which the anti-corruption agency of the day described as irregular and highly improper. And arising from those deals, public funds, millions of US dollars, millions of Jamaican taxpayer money were shelled out and used to line the pockets of a company owned by Peter Bunting and Mark Golding, two men who now aspire to lead Jamaica. Quite frankly, sir, the opposition leader should apologize for his misleading comment that he had nothing to do with the FinSAC. It is simply not true. It is an insult to those of us who will never forget the pain caused by the PNP policies. And to make matters worse, the opposition leader has been on platforms across the country, boasting, uttering comments to the effect, "Me don't make my money already. Me don't set it for me and my family." Yes, he did. He sure has. But no amount of revisionist history will hide the fact that he was aided and abetted to that perverse boast by wicked policies pursued by his PNP political cronies, policies which cost many, many Jamaican lives. My humble view, sir, is that those whose pockets were lined by those policies generated by their political cumbullers, policies which hurt the Jamaican people, those individuals should never be allowed to lead this great country.
The proceeding was a paid broadcast by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:02.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
In across Jamaica this Monday morning, Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, NRSC, Dr. Lucian Jones, believes Sunday's collision along the PJ Patterson Highway, which claimed the lives of 4 people, raises serious questions about how much focus motorists pay on the road.
The taxi crashed, or the car crashed, and people were injured or shaken up. But they didn't die. It's the other car that came and swerved into them, as far as I know, which caused these people to die and people to be injured. So there are 2 big stories coming out of this that we need to pay attention to. One is maybe distracted driving, and 2 is the amount of persons in one car.
Dr. Lucian Jones, the Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, NRSC. Director of Elections Glasgow Brown says Jamaicans capitalized on the opportunity last Saturday to register to vote in the upcoming general election.
Well, the day went fairly well yesterday. A number of persons took advantage of the Saturday opening. When the number of persons came and seek to be registered, a number came in terms of transferring from one constituency to another. And there were another set that came to collect their renewed ID card. So overall, I think the day went fairly well.
The Electoral Office of Jamaica opened its offices on the weekend to facilitate persons who wanted to register to vote in the next general election, which is slated to be held by September of this year. Brown says today, Monday, March 31, is the last day for persons to register to be on the next voters list, which will be published by the end of May.
Well, the data should be available by tomorrow in terms of what the number of persons who took advantage of yesterday. The registration in this phase 51 will be completed or end tomorrow, the 31st of March, after which we then go through the verification process and do the final check for the preparation of the list that will be released on the 31st of May.
Glasgow Brown, Director of Elections. Meanwhile, Mr. Brown says the EOJ is now in the process of training election day workers.
The recruitment process is going okay so far. We are now in the process of training our election day workers, and that is going fairly well. We have a timeline that we anticipate that we complete our training. So even though we're recruited so far, we just continue to encourage persons to ensure that they undertake the necessary training for them to be certified or approved as to work for us on election day.
Glasgow Brown, Director of Elections. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Monday morning. I'm Tona Thomas.
Digicel, live life your way, no free what? Digicel postpaid. With Digicel postpaid, it's all about you. Sign up or pay your bills to stay active for a chance to win a luxurious all-expense paid trip for two to Royalton, Antigua. With round-trip flights on us, every week you could win exciting prizes. Event tickets, gym memberships, spa packages, excursion adventures, restaurant vouchers, and more. When you opt in on the My Digicel app, life your way starts now with Digicel. Better connected.
Promotion ends March 31. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Whole dog!
Not a dog, not there for whole.
The workman them do a good job with the house though.
I can't complain. I just look a little smalls now for wire it.
Go talk to C&WJ Credit Union. Them have a house wiring loan of up to $150,000 for wire your house. So you can get power from JPS.
That's right. Get up to $150,000 and 3 years to repay with a C&WJ Credit Union house wiring loan. C&WJ Credit Union. Discover the benefits of belonging.
Welcome to Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Welcome again to Inside Customs, a product of a Nationwide 90 FM in concert with the Jamaica Customs Agency, the JCA. My name is George Davis. Last week, I had the pleasure of holding court with Sean Carnegie, Senior Training and Implementation Specialist at JSwift, the Jamaica Customs Agency. And Sean has returned to complete his conversation, or this conversation, about the LMS and related resources. Morning again, Sean.
Hi, morning.
All right, then. So just by way of recap, we can start this week by way of recap to just talk more about the JSwift YouTube channel, the Learning JSwift YouTube channel. It's something you mentioned last week, but in case people are just, they missed that first episode, just recap. The Learning JSwift YouTube channel, what does it, how does it complement rather the LMS, the Learning Management System?
Definitely a very good question.
Yeah, man.
Now the YouTube channel is great for an on-the-go learning, allowing users to watch tutorials, get answers to frequently asked questions, and gain insight into best practices for trade facilitation. Now, we currently have 33,605 total views,
yes,
and 305 subscribers, showing that users are actively engaging with our content. We post content regularly to ensure that users always have up-to-date guidance on JSwift processes. Plus, since YouTube is widely accessible, it's a great way to reach users who may not be enrolled in the LMS or be able to attend a scheduled session but still need some guidance.
All right, so I wish we had the resource to just interact with the YouTube channel directly so the listeners can see, but never mind, we can describe. So when I click on the YouTube, Sean, what are some of the things what's the thing that pops up and what am I drawn into immediately?
Well, you will see tutorial videos that can adequately guide you with efficiently utilizing the platform. So each agency that we have onboarded, you will see some tutorial associated with that onboarding. You will see tutorial videos that speak to the end-to-end process and how to register for user access.
Yes.
How to submit an application based on the organization that you represent. And you will see end-to-end tutorial videos that will adequately guide you throughout the trade processes. How to perform an online e-payment.
Yes.
And among other tutorial videos.
Very well. All right. The Learning Management System and the YouTube channel now together. How does, and this is for the uninitiated now because those who know, how does using the LMS and YouTube channel benefit businesses and individuals? So talk to me about the businessman or businesswoman benefiting as opposed to the individual benefiting.
That's a great question. Now, by using the LMS and the Learning JSwift YouTube channel, businesses and individuals can reduce errors in their trade application by following structured learning. Save time by getting clear instructions rather than struggling with paperwork.
I want to save time and save money.
You save money. Stay compliant with regulatory requirements, avoiding unnecessary delay, very important. And empowering their staff with the knowledge needed to efficiently use J-Swift. Ultimately, the goal is to improve predictability, efficiency, and transparency in trade transactions, which benefits both businesses and regulatory agencies.
Very well. So since this LMS, this learning management system, and the YouTube channel, this duo are so very important to J-Swift and the customs agency broadly, what's in the plan, what's in the future rather, for the improvement and enhancement? Because clearly these things have to change as knowledge becomes more widely available. People become more demanding because if you give them a good service, nobody now going to accept that at that stage. But say, oh, why wouldn't I have this? Why wouldn't I have that? So what is in the future plans to improve the LMS and YouTube channel together?
And that's a good question again.
Right.
So we are constantly looking at ways to improve and expand. Some of our future plans include expanding the course category to cover more trade-related topics, introducing live Q&A sessions to engage with users in real time, and enhancing video content with more practical case studies and expert interviews.
And you know, it's funny you talk about the Q&A, the live Q&A, because what we have now, some utility providers, and I'm not giving them any free plug, Sean.
Yeah.
You go on the page and immediately a chatbot comes up and says, "Morning, my name is so-and-so, can I help you?" And it's really, you type in a live question and they're answering you as you go along.
No human interaction.
No. So you're saying that ultimately you want to have this kind of live interaction.
We want to have that live human interaction, get the feedback from the trade community.
Yes.
Ultimately, trying to make trade facilitation as best as possible for the trade community.
People listening to us now, how do they access the J-Swift LMS and YouTube channel?
Accessing the J-Swift LMS is easy. Users can visit www.learning.jswift.gov.jm to enroll in courses and start learning. Now, for the Learning J-Swift YouTube channel, simply go to YouTube and search for Learning J-Swift or the @Learning J-Swift. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content that we publish.
And of course, you have a lot of companies and individuals interacting with the LMS through the YouTube channel as well, Sean. But I'm sure that you go around the place, there are people who say, "Huh? Then this did available all this time? I never knew that this was accessible." So, any final thoughts from you? And I'm sure in these final thoughts, you're going to say, "Boy, tell your colleague in business, tell your friend, you just want more people to come on," because there are going to be many people who still don't know that this exists to make their life and their business easier.
And I love how you put it. I'd just like to encourage all businesses and trade professionals to take advantage of these learning tools. Whether you are new to J-Swift or just need a refresher, the LMS and YouTube channel are here to help make trade processes simpler and more efficient.
Absolutely so. So you have no excuse. You have a portal to interact if you are in the business of trade. J-Swift building out, reaching out to you, listening to what people say they want as a facility to help them, to guide them, to give them tutorials. As Sean has said, you go on the YouTube channel and you'll see tutorials on end-to-end processes. So you make use of that. Sean, I want to thank you very much and wish you all the best as you continue to innovate to make service delivery easier for the people who interact with the customs agency.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. All right, this has been Inside Customs here on Nationwide 90 FM, a product of Nationwide 90 FM and the Jamaica Customs Agency. My name is George Davis. I'll talk to you very, very soon. Yeah.
That was Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
8:15.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Win with love. Use your JMMB Money Transfer Prepaid Visa Card from October 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025 for a chance to win your share of a $2.1 million grand prize. plus a $100,000 university cash grant and cash back from paying tolls and shopping with your card. Receive money 24/7 in minute with Visa Direct via MoneyGram, Zoom, Remitly, or directly through RIA and Zoom. Visit jm.jmmb.com/money-transfer for full details on how to enter and win with love. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
I pursue opportunities.
I prepare for opportunities.
I plan for opportunities.
With Sagicor e-Invest, you can prepare, plan for, and pursue IPO opportunities. Browse IPOs, review IPO details and prospectuses. Select and apply for a featured IPO. IPO with Sagicor e-Invest. Think wealth. Visit sagicor.com.
$8:20. 8:18 on the clock. 10 exceptional businesses have been named winners of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce's Small Business Pitch Competition. In the small business category, 5 winners each received a $400,000 cash grant to support their venture, while 5 winners in the microbusiness category were each awarded $200,000 to assist with the growth of their business. Today, I'm being joined by 2 more of the MIIC Pitch Competition winners, the founder and the CEO of Stevo's Weavers Handicraft, Mr. Shane Miller, and, he was the small business pitch winner. He is a small business pitch winner, and then CEO of O&D Pest Control, Keela McKenzie. I hope I got that right. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Keela, did I get you right?
Very right.
There you go. I almost said Kyla, but it's Keela. There you go. And Shane Miller, you're good? Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, excellent. All right. We start with the lady, Shane. So O&D Pest Control, Keela, tell us about that business.
All right. Well, O&D Pest Control, as the name partially suggests, our primary focus is keeping homes and businesses pest-free. Pests, as we know it, are considered nuisances, but they're not only nuisances, they spread diseases and cause millions of dollars in property damage. So that's really what O&D Pest Control is there for. We provide the safe and effective pest control solutions so all our customers can have peace of mind.
How long have you been operating?
This business has been around for, I would say, a little over 40 years. It started with my father back in the 80s. Basically saw a need. At that time, pest control companies were not that prevalent. Also, when he looked at, but he would like to tell a story many times about when I was born, and he recognized that, the salary that he was earning at the time wouldn't be enough to sustain him and the family, so he decided to start the business. So, of course, I have been in the business now. I've decided to take over. So, of course, give the modern spin on things, and so we can take the business back to where it was in the good old days. Right. So
that's the history. And you're located. You're based where?
Mandeville.
Well,
I would say it's a Central Jamaica business.
Central Jamaican business. All right.
Yeah.
Stevo's Weavers Handicraft. Shane Miller, tell me about this business.
All right, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning again.
So Stevo's Weavers is a handcraft business located in Newmarket of the Parish, St. Elizabeth. So basically, I go by the tagline, crafting your curiosity. So persons will normally reach out to me via social media or like WhatsApp and say that they have an idea. Can I manifest that idea for them in terms of a product? So I weave from like baby bassinet, dustbins, laundry basket, mats, yoga mats, handbags, and so on. So what I do to make my thing a little bit different is that I try to add patterns in the form of storytelling, and also I do customization, and I show everything on social media. So that's where the whole Stevo's Weavers come about.
And how long have you been at it?
I would say 4 years.
So if I look at Stevo's Weavers and I say your name is Shane Miller, how come where Stevo's Weavers come from?
Well, it's a long story, but...
Give me the short version, man.
The short version about it is that I was on campus one day and they were doing this thing about, because Vybz Kartel was running the place at that time, and they said that they have to rhyme Gaza with something. So they said the only name left is Steve. So they said Gaza Steve is going to be the name we're going to give you. So they asked me now, what talent do I have? And I said, I can do hand weaving. So they said, I'm going to call your business Stevo's Weavers.
Just like that?
Just like that.
I remember participating in some of those naming rituals at university. There's a gentleman rather who he's a pharmacist. I think the last time I checked he was in the Cayman Islands. We called him, Shane, we called him Splug. But believe me, he got another name, and I said, no, we can't call him that. But we just use the S and the plug and just call Splug. You can't imagine what the S was. So I understand how those things go. So your path to winning this small business pitch competition, tell me what you had to do to top the field, to come out as one of the winners, Shane.
Well, I know that my work is not very, as you know, hand weaving is something that has been done like by many persons. But to see a young person doing hand weaving now is very rare. And as a male doing hand weaving, that is very rare also. So what I did is that I try to tap into that market and I try to do my research, very deep research, and I try to make my presentation stick out different, like not very sharp, not very long as with the presentation, and try to elaborate on my points clearly and concisely. So that's how I go about it. And I use examples with every one of my presentation slides. I brought in products to correlate with whatever the slides that I was...
You show off your work.
To show off the work.
Yeah, what you studied at university?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. And you went to where? The UWI?
UWI, yes.
And you studied chemistry. How long now you graduated?
2023, so this year will be 2 years.
So you're gonna continue Stevo's Weavers as your main thing, or you're gonna get into the chemistry field and keep this on the side? How that would work?
Well, I use the chemistry in my weaving, but I'm currently working now. So I'm working, but I'm not using the chemistry in that essence, but I use it in terms of the whole weaving thing, where the colors that are in my products are through dyes and like aluminum sulfate and all of those reactions to create the colors. So I'm using the chemistry knowledge towards that.
And how old are you, Shane?
I am 28.
28, all right. We won't ask Ms. Keela her age because it's rude to do so. But Keela, your path to being a micro business pitch winner, what do you think you showcase that caused you to be among the chosen few?
Well, I know. Well, as a dear friend of mine said to me that you know your business more than anybody else. So I mean, it's just taking the knowledge, my experience, the knowledge of the industry in a presentation. I believe that even a lot of us are in business that we don't really think about the structure But of course, in preparation, I had to look at the structure and how the business needs to be structured.
Mm-hmm.
I showed, made sure my numbers are I knew my numbers.
Yes.
That kind of thing. So it's really, the bottom line is just really knowing what your business is about.
Yeah.
And right. That's
Yeah.
that's basically it.
You know what I find over time, Akil, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I've observed that when people are doing business with big companies and the big company gives them a quote, they pay the quote. But when a small business operator comes to them, they want wheel and deal and ball on your price. Is that your experience?
Yes, it is. I would go on to say that they may even look at me as a woman.
Yes.
Say, she don't think I don't think she really know what she does, but is doing. But then when they see the the service quality, they understand why.
Yes, and that must be endless frustrating. Where O&D is concerned, you say you're based in central Jamaica, so your clientele is mostly in the Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon radius. Is that where you get most of your business from?
Mostly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Shane, you're in Newmarket, that's in St. Elizabeth, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're also St. Elizabeth, central Jamaica based in terms of where the people who use your services are from?
Not really, no, like overseas and the entire Jamaica, so it's all across the world.
Because and you have a huge presence online, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes. Where can people find you on the social media?
All right, so Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, I go by Stevo's Weavers.
And spell Stevo's Weavers for them, no?
STEVOSWEAVOS.
Right, Stevo's Weavers. And you say all social media platforms. If I type that in, I'll get the options to contact you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Keela, how can people find O&D Pest Control?
Well, Instagram is my primary medium. It's OD Pest Control. That's all. That's all they'll find.
Yeah.
The handle is OD Pest Control.
Yeah.
And they can also get me on WhatsApp or call 435-6009.
Hold on, I'm going to make you get the number again. You don't get the number so fast, Keela. You take your time. You understand? It's like you meet one annoying man at one party, you want to give one number and want to call him. That's not it. Hold on, Keela. Before you give me the number, another one for you. The where your services are concerned, do you find that when the clients who use your business, who support your business, that have they made referrals for you? Is that a significant part of what you do, giving them the personal touch and depending on them to recommend you to other people?
Yes, that is it.
Yeah.
Referrals are big.
And I know that where pest control is concerned, many people believe that boy, you have enough money to use pest control services. Tell them, say nothing goes on, no?
Not at all. I mean, that's what we do is is a personalized plan for what it is that you need. So we look at your budget too. I mean, we're not going to be, hard and fast and say, hey, this is it. But we'll work with you.
Excellent. Give me the number now, Keela, and take your time.
It is 435-6009.
435-6009.
Yeah.
And you say OD Pest Control is your social media handle.
Right.
All right. Shane, give them your number now.
Okay, so that is 312-2670.
312-2670.
Yes,
and you just type in Stevo's Weavers in Google and it will lead you to where you need to find Shane Miller on social media. I want to congratulate both of you and thank you this morning. And I wish that the businesses grow and that you can become even more successful. All right?
Thank you.
All right, Shane Miller, the CEO and founder of Stevo's Weavers Handicraft, small business pitch winner, competition put on by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and Keela McKenzie, she's the CEO of O&D Pest Control. She says it's a family business and she's carrying on the tradition started by her father decades ago.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:30.
Skillset Talent Solutions offers marketing, accounting, business registration, logo creation, tax filing, background checks, and recruiting services. Call them at 876-559-3212. The temperature by Skillset Talent Solutions is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Transjam highways. Vehicles using the automated T-Tag lane are processed in seconds, so you can pass through the toll plazas far quicker. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience. T-Tag packages are discounted to only $1,500, including a $500 toll credit from now until March 31st.
When it comes to home ownership, whether you want to buy it, build it, or improve it, home it with the National Housing Trust. Join us as we follow one couple's journey towards a more secure future for their family. Home It is brought to you by the NHT, the key to your home.
Oi! Ow!
Watch it, babes, watch it.
Sure, if I trip on that step one more time, I see what Mr. Gordon would tell me if the whole of my groceries them did drop, sir.
What him tell all of him tenants?
I have it on my list. Boy, babes, I can't wait for have my own place.
How much times I tell you don't trouble my products, little girl? You think you can buy back my things? Your mother and your father come. Go on to them.
Johnny! Come, baby.
Veronica, go on, so man.
Mommy, I said sorry. Johnny, how much time I tell you not to trouble Auntie Ronica things? It's for her hairdressing business, okay?
Yes, Mommy.
Here, say I bring you a treat. Go on in the room and go have it. Akeem. Nobody ignore me.
I'm not ignoring you. I just sending a text to one of my customer. Them need an early pick up tomorrow.
We need to talk to Ronica. It's time we tell her.
Yeah, man, later.
No, it's not fair to her. She need to know now.
What's the difference between now and then?
So, Ronica, I just wanted to know that we really appreciate how you help look after Jenny.
Hey, Shanice, me know how you feel now, you know. I love my little niece. But the tone is spoiled, Jenny. You have to talk to her serious sometimes.
That's not what we want to talk to you about. Akeem?
So how the salon do?
What happened? You want to buy me out?
Well, as you mentioned, it's time you start thinking about registering as a taxpayer so you can contribute to the NHT and get your own place.
What's there? Me look like Bank of Jamaica to you. Well, poor me must get money from to pay NHT.
It's not a lot. It's only 3% of what you earn each month. So say you earn $40,000 for the month. All you pay is a little over $1,000.
That's all? Me think I did more than that.
And then that will put you in line for a loan to build or buy a house.
I feel like would I just go and stay with on a steal and save for my own door.
And that been working for you? How much you save?
Well...
Sound like the well dry, don't?
You have to start looking for your own. Look how the four we each up in a little space. And what about your business? You think it's all the time customer wants to sit down on the breadfruit tree and wait on you?
If you're vexed how me talk to Jenny, just say it. But consider yourself lucky to have a living babysitter when you gonna work at night time and your husband on the road that look fierce. And now, you don't just want to throw me out the road?
Hey, drama queen, not like that. The truth is, we're looking to buy the house down the road with the fire sale sign. With our NHT contributions, we think we can make it.
Seriously? So it's notice you're giving me?
You rent anywhere? About notice. All we're saying is that you need to get legit, so one day you can own your own house.
You really think we would just ditch us, Ronica? We make sure you can still be with us when we move. And we won't each up on top of each other like here.
For real?
Just one thing though. Akeem say, you have to register as a taxpayer and start contribute with NHT.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah. I did say that. Yeah, man. Because when you check it out, time no stand still, you know. If not now, then when?
If you're self-employed, start your home ownership journey by becoming a registered taxpayer so that you can make contributions to the NHT. There are many affordable housing options to choose from. Visit nht.gov.jm to find out more. Yes, you can home it with NHT and get the key to your home.
Richie's online. We never even announce the numbers, but Richie just knows where we take call this morning. So Richie's online. Morning, Richie.
Good morning, Master, and good morning, Tana. You know what I mean? Every day I wait, brother.
Of course.
In last year, Upper give us a hint of the sweetheart deal in Bolton Deering and Gordon Company.
Hint?
And it is not any secret anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It laid it very clear to us this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I am really wondering, if these people really real.
If they're real.
I mean, they did this thing to this country in the 90s. And now they come to they want to become farm government in this country. Again.
Well,
and Mark Gordon himself
does
not have prime minister material.
Well, you think so?
I think so.
Okay.
We know that.
Well, you know that. I have a different view. I have a different view.
Well, all right. I know that. Jordan Robinson does not have a finance minister material. Peter Bunting, security is not there as well. So what kind of country they're going to run away when they become government? I'm wondering if these people have a plan to do the very thing that they lead to this country. When I looked up this morning, and he mentioned how much US dollars they achieved from what they did. It comes to like it reached up to about 70 million US.
70 million US.
Doesn't have the plan for this country have it right, and they become government. I'm wondering if that's what they want to go back again to get this amount of money.
Well, what I'll say, Richie, what I'll say is this. Again, these are the things that make people upset with you, because if you lived in Finsac and if you lived during the Finsac period and you hear people and you hear people now making it seem like this characterization of what the PNP did in managing the economy in Finsac, it's wrong and it's misleading, and you assert the facts of what happened, that's when people say, boy, you hate them and you're pro JLP and you're anti PNP because how could you say those things? It is ridiculous for me that any human being could rise and defend what happened under Finsac.
Benjamin, me leave it to no judge.
Yeah, man.
Me might never tell, but me tell Cliff Hughes more than once. I support Father Michael Money for years for me. I walk, my mother hand as a boy, Years before I vote, Me come vote for the PJ. All his life. I see Bruce going to become prime minister when me see if I didn't do the country. That's why I'm switching, brother. So I am a living testimony.
So you voted for the maximum leader in 89, didn't you?
Of course. Me never voted him. I tell you something.
Yeah.
You see, when I reach polling station to vote, I was about 50 minutes late.
Oh.
And a man tell me, say, you know, I have voted already because somebody voted their name already.
Oh. I hear you, Richie.
You understand me saying?
Yeah.
Brethren, one of the worst things that me can't tell you to happen. Some, you see the hell of the couple in mind with commit suicide.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What did they get? Was it the Lins? Yeah.
One sent the other to jump on a cliff, and him jump there and they commit suicide. You have this brethren in Wallaba because in Gene. This man went with Christian grow him up, and give a youth a starting life right in front of Golden Plaza, with a little van. Him start one day and tell him buy one trailer and join one goods, The man move on from there and buy a farm and start raise chicken. And buy and then buy a piece of land in front of Wilmington there, Wait till the plaza there. And run out cash and buy $300,000. And the man having transplant heart, brother. You know what? One day I called him, and his wife didn't know my number. And when she gets, she said, "Me wonder if I call them, call me saying gone."
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the tragic stories are plentiful, Richie. Let me see if I can squeeze in a couple more this morning. Thank you. Right, yeah, man. Anthony, morning.
Morning, George. Morning, Tana.
Morning, Fisher. What, man? Long time I didn't hear you.
George. No, George, me not tell Jeremy say no, you not call me yet, but because we're not top on ours, we're not yet not call.
No, man, a Jeremy fault in but go on. A Jeremy fault, man.
We're not gonna live with that.
Anthony, a Jeremy fault, but go on.
George, me hear talk about red tape this morning.
Yeah.
And I mean, boy, I could tell so many.
Yeah, because you worked at that place, no? So you saw it firsthand. You worked at that place.
All right. And not only that, though, Josh. These people who are there from before will quick to tell you, wait, these are the culture.
Yeah.
And you have to adapt to the culture.
Yeah.
that exists and all of that. So, as I say, if you is not like self-motivated, it kill your vibes.
Yeah, man.
And want you to
Yes,
get to
man.
war,
Yes,
know,
man.
Guess what? We just have to work with what is established or what is here.
Yeah.
And all of them things.
And a significant, Tony, just before we move, a significant consequence of the red tape, we can't skip over it. A lot of outstanding people enter the public service every year. And within 1 year, 2 year, them just lose their motivation and just them just kill off them enthusiasm. The system and the red tape kill people's spirit.
Yeah, and then now the end users are the people who at the end who receive the service. They don't understand what is happening.
But
George, you said something when you call on the politicians, and I agree because they were the one who put these rules, as we call them, in place. And again, we have to look at the other side of it, where the public servants are concerned, because George, nobody don't really want them name join a gutter and call up on them family here, say, boy, them in this a corruption and that a corruption. And sometimes out of the fear of that also, these red tapes strive.
Yes.
You understand what
Yeah,
I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah, man.
And I can tell you, if any government who decides, boy, here we are going, we are going to do something to move these red tape, the politics is going to get involved, and then it is going to create a problem.
I remind you of something. In 2014, under the leadership of Anthony Hilton, when he was in charge of the industry ministry, I don't know if you remember, the government then had a hotline, a red tape hotline, where members of the public could call and report instances of bureaucracy frustrating their attempt to get services. You know what happened to that red tape hotline? Shulette Cox, the now JAMPRO president, was vice president of JAMPRO at the time. And she announced 6 months after that they were abandoning the hotline because in the 6 months they got 9 phone calls. So people weren't, because the people them say it don't make sense to report it because nothing is going to change. That was 2014.
But Judge, I'm going to show you something now. These red tape also cause corruption to strive because people who not willing to wait a process or all of them things, I go find a man who can pay a thing on under the table and whatever and all of them things, they push through something fast, seam and all of them stuff.
But of course.
So the same thing that you're trying to use to solve one problem is also creating another problem.
Yes, and Tony, let me tell you, I refuse to submit to the communal bawling about red tape, because again, where did it come from? It dropped from sky?
Exactly.
Somebody come and impose it on us? Our politicians, the same ones who we talk about, politicians going to parliament and they're working on our behalf. The lazy ones, the ones who sit and say nothing, do nothing. The people who hear their government, whichever party it is, passing foo-foo law and ask no question, challenge nothing so that the law can be refined or that the rules can make sense. They are the ones responsible for this situation. So I'm not joining anybody, communal gnashing of teeth. I am demanding that the government in office, this one now, act as the Prime Minister has said, to cut this foolishness out of the system, remove the bureaucracy. How can you have $11 billion of money unspent because of the own the own system that you design? Your own system that you design is preventing you from spending billions. How can that make sense? Anyway, the Germans have time up. I saw the Calabar youth them staying at Tony. I saw them. Call back tomorrow.
All right, later, brother. Later. Yeah, man.
Me not not more Casey. You forget your own mic.
Jamaica's Spark program is investing $45 billion to improve roads, water, and telecom. Better infrastructure for a better future. The time by Spark is
8:46.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Just smile for me and let the day begin. You are the sunshine that lights my heart within. And I'm sure that you're an angel in disguise. Come take my hand and together we will ride on the wings of love up and above the clouds. The only way to fly is on the wings of love. On the wings of love, only the two of us together flying high, flying high upon the wings of love. You look at me and I begin to melt, just like the snow when a ray of sun is felt. And I'm crazy about you, baby, can't you see? I'd be so delighted if you would come with me. On the wings of love, up and above the clouds, the only way to fly is on the wings of love. On the wings of love, only the two of us together flying high, flying high upon the wings of love. Yes, you belong to me, and I'm yours exclusively. And right now we live and breathe each other. Inseparable it seems, we're flowing like a stream, running free, traveling on the wings of love. On the wings of love.
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. Happy birthday greetings going out to our friends on Facebook. Sandra Fairweather, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Karen Wiley, Kim Campbell. Happy birthday greetings to Sashina Angel Morgan. Prince Ringo, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you as well. Wishing for you a wonderful day. Happy birthday greetings going out to, this one says, oh, it's a belated birthday greeting. Belated birthday wishes, this one says, to my brother, Wilbert Phillips, down there in the grill. Greetings are coming from Vincent, Evan, and the countless others. So belated birthday greetings to you, Wilbert. Hope you had a wonderful day. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Joel Welch. It's your birthday, aka Mr. Smellgood. Happy birthday to you, Joel. From Kiki Confidence, wishing for you a great day. And Kiki's saying with lots of love. So happy birthday to you, Joel Welch, aka Mr. Smellgood.
What I say?
How you mean?
Well, Joel.
Happy birthday. It's also the birthday of our very own Kamar, who's at the security outlet.
Talman.
Happy birthday.
Oh, what I say? Talman. Pick up yourself, Talman.
It's your birthday, Kamar. Happy birthday to you from your NNN family. Kamar Phillips, wishing for you a wonderful day. Happy birthday. And Loxley Gregory sending happy born day to Keon Campbell. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a great day from Loxley Gregory here on the YouTube chat. Albert Lewis sending happy birthday greetings. This one says, to my son Christopher, greetings from your mom Rose, your siblings Tamika, Akeem, Amaya, your sister-in-law Chevelle, and nephew is this Ikai. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. From Coconut Creek there in Florida. Okay, happy birthday to you, Christopher. Wishing for you a great day. Who else is on the B-Day list? today, or if it is that you're celebrating your anniversary, do let us know so that we can wish you a special one. CJ Martinez sending happy birthday greetings. This one says to my friend Ariana. Hey to you, Ariana. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you from CJ Martinez. Saying to you, have a great one, friend. And Gene Sellers is saying, George, thank you for the birthday wishes, but still want my song, sir. You promised Gene a song?
Gene, oh gosh, Gene, yes, Gene, I promised Gene one tune. Gene, tie back the tune so we can see it, so the Calabar man can sort it out for this week.
Right.
At the same time, good morning to Christine. I met Christine at Devon House on Saturday after I was coming from the funeral service. Yeah, and I woke up Christine in the coconut water shop. She said, boy, you know, she should big up Tana and everything. So, Christine, just sending greetings to you on this Monday.
Good morning again to you, Christine. Phoebe Lee sending belated birthday greetings. She says to my dad, Edgar, where did that go? Phoebe, did you just delete the birthday greetings? Post it back in the chat so we can wish that special one a special birthday. Pauline Bailey sending happy birthday greetings to her sister Charmaine. Charmaine, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Special shout out to you from your sister Pauline Bailey. Scrolling on down, Janesta Johnson sending happy birthday greetings. Oh, she says to everyone. So everybody who's celebrating a birthday today, Janesta is wishing you a wonderful day. And not seeing any other so far. So if it is your birthday today, happy birthday to you. And if you're celebrating your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well.
There's a cameraman. Oh, well, after the cameraman closes out the birthday, I'll tell you this.
If you would come with me on the wings of love, up and above the clouds, the only way to fly.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Two late ones. Phoebe sent it back, you know. You see it?
Yes. So James is sending happy birthday greetings to Miss Archer of Burger King in Manor Park. Hey to you, Miss Archer. It's your birthday. Wishing for your wonderful day from James. And Phoebe Lee, we're seeing your birthday. Belated birthday greetings to, she says, to my dad, Edgar Lee, who celebrated 98 years yesterday. Your 98th birthday was yesterday. You're going on, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, man. Mr. Lee. Oh, Mr. Lee, 98, Mr. Lee. Oh, Mr. Lee.
Belated birthday greetings to you, sir. Hope you had a wonderful one.
Excellent. Somebody asked if George have a problem with Calabar. No, sir. Calabar man, them are top youth them. The KC youth them are top youth them. The JC youth them are top youth them. The Georges youth them are top youth them. Yeah, man. Without those guys, champs and them schoolboy football and quiz and them thing, they wouldn't nice. So I love all of them. So where I try so the man I war with me now, listeners. I say me happy. If someone happy, me someone happy say KC win. No, man. I have no dog in the fight. Me not a dog in the fight. JGHS, 1AY Church Street, Spanish
Bobo
Town.
Skiwa, Tala Ala Skiwa. Bobo Skiwa, straight. Big up to all Monroe College boys and old boys. Yeah, that's my school.
Yeah.
MC.
Big up for the school. What was I gonna say? Yeah, there are some people that in media, we watch a lot of things on TV, a lot of sport, a lot of football, cricket, track and field and all those things, and we don't see the guys who are working the cameras.
Yes.
There's a camera guy, Michael Tinglin, they call him Ras Tingle. Man fit. Man with age, you know. But the man they fit like, and the man they strong.
Yeah.
And I just saw him a while ago as we were watching the Headley Cup, the T20 final between Taki High and Stets. Stets win, of course. Stets always win cricket, eh? And I saw him and I'm saying, yeah, man, those guys, we don't praise them, but without them, our experience of live sport would not be the same. Yeah. So Ras Tingle, anyway, there, sir. Big up yourself this morning. All right. Cool.
Big up yourself. Mm-hmm. And Johnny B, seeing your birthday, sending happy birthday greetings to Tamara Bryan. Hey to you, Tamara. Happy birthday to you, coming from Johnny B.
Calabar man, big up yourself, my youth. It's agree. Me not answer that, you know. Me not answer that.
Am I seeing any other birthdays before we go? Checking the chat.
Tamra Bryan. Johnny B
one.
says happy birthday to Tamra Bryan from all of us. So Tamra, I'm sure you know who Johnny B and the rest of the, or obviously it's Johnny B. Well, it's Johnny B and the rest of them. So Tamra Bryan, happy birthday to you. All right.
That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thanks so much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCray-Smith. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana.
And I'm George.
Good morning.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Do I destroy my enemies when I made them my friends? Loose lips talk of mischief, some live in false pretense.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Talking about transportation, transporting the past, the present, and the future generation. Whether taxi, private vehicle, or bike, your two bicycle wheel, them are a hike.